Chapter 25, I Am Rich. Chapter 25, I Am Rich. The auction was set up in the Fengyuan Merchant Union's special auction venue. It was the size of a basketball court in his previous life. There were 10 VIP booths set up, and the more powerful the power, the closer the booths were. There were 500 ordinary spots. The prices of the tickets to the auction had already risen to several thousand taels, which was a testament to the influence of this auction. Lu Feng changed into a beautiful set of clothes, walked up the stage, and with a respectful smile on his face, he said, "Guests, everyone is aware of the process of the auction. I will not introduce any further. The auction will begin now." The first auction, Healing Pill. As Lu Feng spoke, a worker immediately took out 10 pills from his plate. Holy **T. You actually have the nerve to take out a trash like the Healing Pill to auction? Don't waste our time. Let's directly take out the behest. The audience roared. Lu Feng did not stop them. On the contrary, he wanted to see this scene with a smile on his face, as he said, "Allow me to explain to you how these healing pills are different. My healing speed doubled. The most important thing is that it will help you cultivate, because after you consume it, you will be provided with true breath. This is its unique charm. This pill was concocted by a grandmaster." Although the last sentence was a lie, Lu Feng knew clearly that it would raise long phase position and also raise the price. The most important thing was, it would raise the influence of the Fengyuan Merchant Union in the pill market, because an alchemy grandmaster was not something that could be hired by the merchant union, even by a family. Everyone shivered, but no one called out a price. Lu Feng was not in a hurry as he said, "Fire Glass Dynasty. The Zhuge family of 4 pillars are famous for their alchemy. Can you let Lord Zhuge inspect them?" A figure landed in private room number 5. "I'll test it," a skinny old man said. Lu Feng replied respectfully, "It is my honor to be examined by the chief alchemy master of the Zhuge family, Zhuge Yuqing." Zhuge Yuqing did not dawdle either. She first picked up the pellet and sniffed it, then her eyebrows twitched. The idea moved, and her brows tightened up even more. She looked at Lu Feng and asked, "Can I taste one?" Lu Feng nodded, "Sure." Zhuge Yuqing put the healing pellet in her mouth, but did not swallow it immediately. She closed her eyes slightly, savoring the taste, sensing, and muttered, "The ratio of spirit herbs has reached a perfect state. The release of spirit grasses' spirit energy is perfect. The true breath is surging, perfect. The treatment of wounds is perfect." Impossible. How can there be such a perfect healing pill? Highest grade medicine powder. Zhuge Yuqing was shocked and did not step down. She immediately said, "I will pay 500,000 for the remaining 9 healing pellets." As soon as his voice faded, a huge commotion immediately broke out. It was impossible for the Fengyuan Merchant Union and the Zhuge family to join hands. And then, Prince Nangong's family immediately raised the bid. 600,000. Li Martial Arts Sect, 700,000. Holy Dragon Mansion, 800,000. Zhuge, Divine Home Mansion, 1 million silver. Long Fei was dumbfounded. A healing pill for sale to Lu Feng was only 8,000 gold coins, and it could easily be sold for 1 million silver coins. He felt that he had suffered a huge loss. He even had the heart to die. The Divine Marquis of Zhuge had produced many alchemy geniuses who were the strongest existences in the Fire Glass Dynasty in terms of researching medicinal pellets. Zhuge Yuqing's shocked expression showed that even he was unable to refine it. Moreover, the greatest use of this healing pill lay in the cultivation of the young disciples. With such a healing pill by his side, it was the same as having an extra talisman. Of course, the Zhuge family would never let go of the opportunity to study the highest grade medicine powder. In the end, 9 healing pills were sold to the Zhuge family for 1,300,000 silver. This was also the first time in the history of God's martial continent that a sky-high price of 1,300,000 gold coins had been offered for 9 first-grade healing pellets. Next, we'll proceed to the second item auction, Spiritual Void Ring. Space ring made from mysterious meteorite, 100 square meters of space ring, starting bid 100,000 silver. As soon as Lu Feng finished his sentence, silence reigned below the stage. It was just a space ring, but it was a little big, so not many people called out a price. Long Fei called out 150,000. He needed a large space ring storage item. No one bid. Lu Feng smashed the hammer down and said, "Deal." The third item, Xin Class 6 Stage Sword Art, Sky Xin Sword Art. The bidding price is 300,000, 500,000, 600,000, 800,000, 1,000,000 and 500,000, 2,000,000. The price soared. The fourth item, Wind Shadow Step, not appraised, does not guarantee quality. Starting price, 10,000 silver. Unidentified. This meant that the Fengyuan Merchant Union did not know the grade of this technique. It could be a divine level technique or the most trashy one of the yellow rank. Even more so, there was a huge risk involved in this gamble. 30,000 gold, 50,000, 100,000. Although it was unappraised, there were still many people bidding, and the price kept rising. Long Fei looked at the Wind Shadow Step through the system. Skill Path, Wind Shadow Step Rank. First rank of Heaven Stage, True Breath. 10 True Breath will not be consumed in a second. Description, like the wind, the shadow is erratic. The observation is unclear, unfathomable. Like a gale, like a gale, like a hurricane. Long Fei was secretly excited in his heart and said, 1,000,000. Many people turned to look at Long Fei. Is this person an idiot? You actually spent so much money to buy an unidentified cultivation technique. My brain must be full of water. 1,000,000 to buy an unidentified cultivation technique. He's too talented. The price of 1,000,000 was not low. Even Lu Feng was a little surprised. Seeing that it was Long Fei, her eyes moved slightly, signaling him not to buy it. However, everything was too late. Lu Feng was sure that no one was bidding. He knocked on the hammer. 1,000,000 sold. Long Fei was secretly excited. For a high price of 2,000,000 for a profound rank 6. I bought it for 1,000,000 for a first rank heaven stage. Ha ha ha. I picked up a big mistake. Who would know that the Wind Shadow Step was a first rank heaven rank technique? Next was a new auction. The ninth item. The treasure map of the Thunder Dragon Temple. The location of the Immortal Trail Thunder Dragon Temple. Unappraised treasure map. Starting bid, 50,000 silver. The Fengyuan Merchant Union had sent people to search for this item based on the instructions on the treasure map, but they could not find it. Other than that, it was hard to say whether there were any Thunder Dragon Temple-s around, so he decided to auction them. Thunder Dragon Temple? I've never heard of it at all. It's another unidentified item. Take it out to swindle others. 60,000, 80,000, 150,000. 200,000. If he couldn't appraise it, he would be gambling. If he won the bet, he would make a profit. If he lost the bet, he would die a loss. Long Fei still had 850,000 left of the 2,000,000 he had left. Just as he was about to buy something else, he saw the treasure map and muttered, "Anyway, it's not my money. I'll buy it. 500,000. Immediately, the entire hall was silent. No one bid again. He was staring at Long Fei again, and in their eyes, this person was already a standard number 2. Long Fei was even excited and said, "I've bought it again, ha ha ha." Chapter 26, Flunking Order. Chapter 26, Flunking Order after the auction. Lu Feng drank a cup of water and cleared his throat. His expression became excited as he said, "The 10th item, Sword Teeth Tiger Spell Note." They are divided into 2 groups. Each group has 4 plates. The first group of Sword Teeth Tiger Spell Note will be auctioned next. The bidding price is 300,000. Finished. Lu Feng did not allow the auction to begin, but explained instead, Sword Teeth Tiger Spell Note, High Grade 2 Talisman, able to release a 5-level monster in battle, able to instantly kill a practitioner of War Division Realm. At the same time, Lu Feng picked up a talisman, activated True Breath, and suddenly released it into the air. Go. Roar. A sturdy sword teeth tiger rushed out of the talisman and roared. Its dense, imposing manner spread to every corner of the auction place. It was extremely shocking. Lu Feng suddenly said, "Let the auction begin." 500,000. Lee Martial Arts Sect bids 800,000. The Nangong Imperial Clan bids 1 million. The Zhuge family of the Divine Ho clan bids 1,500,000. Holy Dragon Mansion bids 2 million. 3 million. The Nangong Imperial Clan bids 5 million. It instantly soared to 5 million. Long Fei was dumbfounded. Lu Feng said excitedly, 5 million going once, 5 million going twice, 5 million going thrice sold. Next is another set of talismans. 4 chapters talismans. Top quality sword teeth tiger spell node S are respectively wind, illusion, and water elements, 2 of which are magic talismans, and are instantly killed by a martial artist at the War Spirit Realm. This set of talismans was crafted by a single person, a senior master of coding draft of the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Lu Feng laughed. I will also tell you guys a secret. The healing pill was created by this master. Attribute talisman? Or are all 3 attributes created by a single person, able to refine talismans and alchemy? Could it be a 10-star root bone? Even a double attribute bone root can't do it, let alone a 10-star root bone. All sorts of discussions broke out, and even the various VIP booths were in an uproar. Long Fei sat in the middle of the crowd, listening to the various discussions, and thought to himself, I wonder what kind of scene would be like when the flood dragon Long Fei's heavenly talisman was taken out for auction. Suddenly, Lu Feng suddenly shouted, the auction begins. The bidding price is 1 million gold. The sword teeth tiger spell note's momentum of 3 days had already caused a stir, and many people came because of it. 2 million. 3 million. Holy Dragon Mansion bids 5 million. 5 million. Long Zhanwu, you are really poor. The price of the Zhuge family of the Divine Marquis is 7 million. The King's Palace bids 9 million. Lee Martial Arts Sect bids 10 million. The price kept rising. Suddenly, a melodious voice rang out from private room number 2, 20 spirit stones from the heavenly sect. As soon as his voice faded, the entire audience was shocked. The people from the heaven sect are here too? It's actually the heaven sect? At this moment, a voice also came from private room 10. The blood refinement sect bids 30 spirit stones. Another uproar broke out. The devil sect's blood refining sect is also here. What's going on? They're all here. The sect was extremely powerful, appearing in this mundane auction and bidding on it. A single spirit stone was worth 1 million silver. The currency in the secular world was silver, while the spirit stones in the sect were spirit stones. The voice from private room 2 sounded again. 50 spirit stones bid on the sky sect. A wave of cold laughter came from the blood refinement sect, and they stopped bidding. Lu Feng knocked on the hammer and said, Deal! The second VIP room will be auctioned off to the Sky Sect. In private room 2, the 3 women were fuming. Eldest senior sister, why is the blood refinement sect here? Since senior sister and the others dare to come, then don't let them leave the Fireglass City alive. The matter at Fireglass Mountain Range last time will be settled this time. The 3 girls were the girls that Long Fei had saved the last time. Amongst the 3 of them, the eldest senior sister was a rank 2 talisman master. She really wanted to know how to refine attribute talismans. Furthermore, she had recently encountered a bottleneck and wanted to break through so much that she had spent 50 spirit stones to buy them. One must know that these were the spirit stones that the 3 of them had accumulated over the years. He originally thought that announcing the name Heaven Sect would scare off the other bidders, but he never expected that the blood refinement sect would interfere. The eldest senior sister huffed. Damn it, senior sister, should we inform the branch elders? Inform my ass. We'll immediately rush out. The little junior sister apprentice looked as if she wanted the world to be chaotic. The eldest senior sister spoke in a low voice for a moment. Fireglass City is a secular place. Once they fight, there will definitely be innocent people involved. Let's just forget about it. The little junior sister apprentice immediately said, I spent 30 more spirit stones for nothing. Eldest senior sister, those are the spirit stones you use to break through to the next realm. How about? The little junior sister apprentice had an idea. Big senior, Why don't we use the Heavens Court order and get the Feng Yuan Merchant Union to hand over the person who refined the talisman? We can get him to specially refine 100 talismans for us. 1,000 talismans, Nonsense. The eldest senior sister glared and said, How can a master be insulted? The Feng Yuan Merchant Union will bring master out to see us once, so we will have to respectfully welcome you all. In her heart, Grandmaster Glyph was sacred and inviolable. The little junior sister apprentice stuck out her tongue. The appearance of the Heavens sect and the Blood Refinement sect had caused the auction to become somewhat stifling. However, this did not affect the hearts of the clans in the slightest. The last one was the flowing light plaque. Everyone was rubbing their fists and wiping their palms. Long Face sat in the middle of the crowd and muttered to himself, Even if it's 1 million silvers per spirit stone, 50 of them would be 50 million silvers. Gudong. Long Face swallowed his saliva heavily and became extremely excited. How much 50 million silver? In my previous life, Lousy had insisted on keeping 18 girls to play games with me every day. If that were the case, then life would be a lot better, huh? At the same time, Long Fei looked at VIP Booth 2 and said to Xiao Bai, who was fast asleep in War Pet Space, It's those 3 women again. Last time, they completely ignored me. So cool. Next, the last item will be auctioned. Ranking item, Flattened Feather Medallion. Lu Feng's voice trembled a little as she said, I don't need to explain to everyone the use of the flowing light feather token. We can all request a Failure Alliance to do one thing, regardless of the size. Failure Alliance. Their power did not lose to any sect, the strongest assassination organization in God's martial continent. It was distributed to every corner of the continent. Extremely mysterious existence. Every time the falling feather order appeared, it would set off a bloody storm. The appearance of the Fun Feather Spirit in the Fireglass City caused the Nangong imperial family to be shaken. No matter the cost, he had to take down this falling feather spirit. For everyone, it was the same for Zhuge Tianlong, and it was the same for Long Zhanwu as well. The auction begins. Chapter 27, Family Hazard. Chapter 27, Family Hazard. As soon as his voice fell, he immediately entered the white-hot state. All of them had their sleeves raised as they put their bayonets together. The situation was extremely intense. 13 million, 18 million silver, 20 million, 25 million, 40 million silver. The price continued to skyrocket, not stopping at all. The few big shots of Fireglass City had completely fallen out with him. Zhuge Tianlong, what do you think a drug refiner like yourself wants? Who do you want to kill? Long Zhanwu, you are only the great clan elder of the Long family. Do you have the qualifications to use so much money? Li Chong Tian, you Cur leopard. Can your Li clan have that much money? Nangong Lei, what are you fighting with the royalty for? What are you trying to do? Every offer was accompanied by a verbal attack. This time, the Heaven-Seeking sect and Blood Refinement sect hadn't bid, and the Blood Refinement sect hadn't made a sound since they had bid on the talismans. The 3 Heaven sect sisters watched on silently, not showing any intention of bidding. The Nangong Imperial clan has 80 million silver taels. Don't fight with me for it. I definitely won't use this piece of paper. It's best if it is given to the royal family for safekeeping. Nangong Hua, are you trying to fool us? 90 million. The Long family bids 100 million silver. Long Zhanwu sweated profusely, as though he was about to reach his limit. Zhuge Tianlong did the same, shouting loudly, 110 million. Li Chong Tian gnashed his teeth so hard that they almost broke, 120 million. The Nangong Imperial clan has 150 million silver taels. Nangong Ho was also a little lacking in confidence. This was his last bottom line. Even if he was the ruler of a nation, it would be difficult for him to take out more money. The 4 Pillars was silent for a moment. At this moment, a woman's voice rang out from VIP Booth 1. 200 million. Puff. Nangong Hua immediately spat out a mouthful of blood. The anger was attacking his heart. It was the same for the people from the 4 Pillars. 200 million was completely beyond their limit. Lu Feng's eyes were shocked as he loudly asked, 200 million? Is there a higher price? Who's from VIP Lounge 1? What kind of background? The Xiangtian sect is only the second VIP lounge. The identity of VIP Booth 1 must be even stronger. Who is it? Everyone was guessing. Even the people from the Four Pillars were guessing as well. 200 million going once. 200 million twice. 200 million deal. Lu Feng smashed down on the hammer. Congratulations, esteemed guest number 1. Please pay your bill backstage. Half an hour later, Long Fei muttered, too crazy, my heart can't take it. Lu Feng took out a box and said, brother, here are 50 spirit stones, plus 2 million silver notes. Long Fei was surprised for a moment and said, Elder Lu, didn't you guys want to get it by the draw? Lu Feng laughed. If others want to smoke, you do not need it. Since you are a member of our Fengyuan Merchant Union, you naturally do not need it. Actually, this was a form of compensation. The Fengyuan Merchant Union had used the healing pills and sword teeth tiger spell notice that Long Fei had refined to increase their power and influence. This was not something that could be accomplished by dozens of spirit stones. Long Fei did not hold back and said, then I'll be thanking you. Lu Feng asked, if you want money, I can help you exchange it for silver. Long Fei smiled and said, no need, just spirit stones. Lu Feng did not force him and said, then take it well. This is a lot of money, ha ha ha. Long Fei also started laughing and asked suspiciously, Elder Lu, can you tell me who is in private room 1? Lu Feng smiled mysteriously and lowered his voice. Our young Mississippi, huh? Holy sh**t. Are you guys playing this game? Long Fei completely did not expect that after hearing Lu Feng's explanation, he had come to a realization. Lu Feng said softly, we were forced to, and you know the competition situation very well. If we were to let the Four Pillars or the Emperor of Nangong family obtain it, the Fire Glass City would set off a bloody war and might even shake the very foundations of the Fire Glass dynasty. Although the Fire Glass City may seem calm on the surface, in truth, there are undercurrents surging. All kinds of forces are fighting in secret. The genius of the Long family in Four Pillars, Dragon Blood, was drawn out. The Long family lost their Dragon God warriors. Their status plummeted rapidly over the past year, and they were crushed by other Three Pillars' forces. A few days ago, there was a dragon's roar from the sky above the Long family. It should be due to the awakening of the new Dragon God warriors, which would let the Long family slow down for a while. However, I think that as long as Three Pillars finds the Dragon God warriors, they would probably assassinate them. Long Fei trembled slightly and asked, was the last Dragon God soldier assassinated by the Three Pillars? Lu Feng smiled faintly. The existence of the Long family is too much of a threat to them. The Three Pillars and the Nangong Imperial clan want to exterminate the Long family. Who else could it be? The Long family has been passed down for so many years, all thanks to the support of the Dragon God's warriors. Today, not obtaining the Falling Feather token is tantamount to losing a single line of protection, which is not a good thing for the Long family. Fortunately, the other forces didn't buy it, otherwise the Long family would be in great danger. Divine Dragon Marquise, the Long family without Dragon God warriors is the same as a tiger without teeth, sighed. Lu Feng sighed twice consecutively, and then laughed and said, huh? What's the point of saying all this? This world is like this. The strong are revered, and the weak are eliminated. With that, Lu Feng left. Long Fei stood at the same place, his heart sinking, and thought to himself, I never thought that the Long family would actually be in such a state. F***CK. Even at such a level, you still want to make things difficult for me. Long Zhanwu. You did everything possible to make me die. You're truly vicious. How can a Long family be strong enough to have someone like you? Long Fei felt unwell in his heart. Who cares? I'm not even as good as a servant in the Long family. Why should I worry about the Long family? F***CK. Long Fei no longer cared about the Long family. What he needed to do now was to become stronger and take the test. Long family. Long Zhanwu's courtyard. Long Zhanwu's face was filled with anger as he said solemnly, "A bunch of old fellows went all out to increase the price for the flowing light flower token. Now that's good. No one has obtained it." Long Zhanya said slightly, "This is also a good thing for us. If we were to be obtained by any side, we might be able to deal with the Long family. Our next plan is going to change." Long Zhanwu looked at Long Zhanya. Long Zhanya said in a low voice, "Big brother, without the flowing light feather token, we can similarly request killer at Failure Alliance. As long as we remove Long Fei and Long Zhanhai, the Long family will also fall into your hands." Long Zhanwu's eyes shone with a bright light. Long Zhanya continued to speak, "I have already contacted the Failure Alliance. 50 million silver is much cheaper than the price of the flowing light feather token." Long Zhanwu said excitedly, "All right, great. Once the family exam is over, Long Zhanhai will come out from closed-door cultivation and be killed immediately." Long Zhanya also laughed excitedly. Following that, Long Zhanwu asked, "Have you found the Dragon God warriors yet?" Long Zhanya shook his head and said, "Not yet." Long Zhanwu exhaled, feeling more and more that the Dragon God warriors were Long Zhanhai's men. In addition, the Three Pillars and the Emperor clan are investigating the Dragon God warriors. If you can't find out that they are subservient to us, kill them. Long Zhanya nodded and said, "Understood." Chapter 28, Lucky Ring. Chapter 28. Lucky Ring. The Fengyu order was bought by the mysterious person, which eased the competition in the Fireglass City. However, this, on the other hand, hastened the internal struggle within the Long family. In a thatched courtyard. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for refining the highest grade medicine powder. You have obtained 100 experience, 100 true breath, and 10 points as a reward. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for successfully refining the healing pill. Wow, the success rate has increased quite a bit. The last time he bought 1,000 sets of spirit grass from the Fengyuan Merchant Union. The main reason why Long Fei had refined them into medicinal pellets was because he wanted to raise the level of his alchemy technique. Only by breaking through the 4th level of alchemy would one be able to refine true pills that could instantly raise 100 points of true breath. Experts were as common as the clouds in the clan examination. The true breath was a hard wound, so if he ran out of true breath, there would be no one or demon beast to hunt him down to make up for it. This was Long Fei's weakness, and he had to make up for it. Ding! Ding! He trained in alchemy during the day and trained in talismans. Cultivating basic sword, toting skill, dragon salure technique, and the wind shadow step that he bought at the auction late into the night was extremely difficult to grasp. Every step was erratic. At the same time, each step was filled with hidden killing intent. It could be said that the 1 million silver was truly worth it. With his footwork, even high-stage war spirit warriors would not be able to easily catch up to him. For the whole half a month, Long Fei stayed at home to train. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for increasing his alchemy, currently at level 4. Huff! Long Fei exhaled and said, "I have finally leveled up." He opened the system and checked. Player, Long Fei rank, level 6 Battle Master experience points, 210920/25,000 true breath value, 1,300 skills, toting skill Divine, Dragon Salure Technique Divine, Wind Shadow Step, first rank of the Heaven Stage, Basic Sword, Alchemy Technique. Energy values, 100 points, 540, Table of Contents, Charm value, 0 Lucky value, 10. A series of attributes appeared in Long Fei's mind. Looking at the attributes, Long Fei felt that they were a little different from before. Long Fei had not paid attention to this all along. Where did your lucky value increase from? I was wondering why the success rate of alchemy technique and glyph technique had increased. So it turns out to be an extra 10 lucky value S. Just that. Where did this lucky value come from? Long Fei's brows moved. He immediately thought of the spirit space ring on his finger, and his heart shook. I picked up a treasure. And then, Long Fei took off the spirit space ring and checked the system. Sure enough, lucky value has turned to 0. This spirit space ring has a luck attribute bonus. Isn't it too great? He hadn't noticed it in the past, but now he realized that it was a great experience. What did lucky value mean? The drop rate had increased, the speed of the cultivation skill had increased, the success rate of alchemy had increased, and there was even a chance for him to deal critical damage. This ring is something that even 100 million wouldn't be able to buy. Mysterious meteorite. If I can find even more of these mysterious meteors to raise my lucky value to 100, then the scene was too beautiful. Long Fei did not dare to think further. Following that, Jojo, I'll be going out for a while. You have to behave and stay at home. Long Fei teased. Jojo's face flushed red, not daring to make a sound. Little girl. Long Fei smiled knowingly. After interacting with her for such a long time, she discovered that Jojo was even more beautiful and cute. As long as she matured, she would definitely be a beauty who would take one's life. During this time, Long Fei was also thinking about when he could test if she had any talent in cultivation. Half an hour later, Fengyuan Merchant Union. When will the highest grade medicine powder come? Lu Feng, didn't you say that the master is the chief alchemy master of the Fengyuan Merchant Union? It has been half a month, but you still haven't managed to refine a single healing pill? What are you doing? Without the highest grade medicine powder, I won't leave. The drugstore was packed. Moreover, ever since the end of the auction, these half a month had been packed to the brim, all for the highest grade medicine powder and the talismans. For the past half a month, Long Fei had not appeared a single time. Lu Feng waited like an ant on a hot pan, looking forward to see the stars and the moon every day, praying for Long Fei to appear a little earlier. If they could not get the highest grade medicine powder out, it would have a huge impact on the Fengyuan Merchant Union. So many people. Elder Lu, business is booming. Long Fei walked into the shop and smiled at everyone. When Lu Feng saw Long Fei, he was almost moved to tears. He pulled Long Fei inside. My little ancestor, you're finally here. Long Fei said in all seriousness. When did I become your ancestor? Elder Lu, since we are friends, please do not randomly establish a relationship. Lu Feng laughed bitterly. It's already burning on my eyebrows. Do you still have a mind to joke around? Do you know who the people outside are? They're all here for the highest grade medicine powder. How much have you refined in this period of time? Are there 10 of them? If I don't have 10 of them, you can give me 5 or 6 of them. If I don't have any highest grade medicine powder my shop will be destroyed by someone. Is it that serious? Long Fei touched his chest. Lu Feng thought that Long Fei was taking the pellet, but his eyebrows finally relaxed as he said, Of course it's serious. While they were talking, Long Fei dug out a ball of mud and rubbed it with 2 of his fingers. He formed it into a ball and muttered. He went into closed-door training for half a month and didn't even have time to take a bath. Lu Feng took it over, and his eyes were startled. Just 1 pill? Huh? Long Fei was dumbstruck. Lu Feng took the pellet and ran out, saying, 1 pellet is better than none. Without waiting for Long Fei to stop it, Lu Feng hastily ran out. He did not have the mind to inspect the pill, and he wished that he could immediately send those people away. Suddenly, the hall exploded with noise. A commotion instantly broke out. I bid 30,000 silver. I'll pay 40,000, 50,000, 70,000. Zhuge Jinxiang, bid 100,000. All of you paupers scrammed to the side. Zhuge Jinxiang's face was a little bruised. One of his eyes had even been beaten into a panda's eye. It was strange. He had been walking well in the night when he was suddenly caught in a gunny sack and then violently beaten up. If it wasn't for the Zhuge family's expert coming fast, he would definitely have been beaten to death. There were not many people that dared to hit Zhuge Jinxiang. He had searched for the culprit, but they could not find it. He could only admit his misfortune. Long Fei muttered in his heart when he heard Zhuge Jinxiang's name. Isn't that the name that was reported to the blood refinement sect? He followed her out. Lu Feng said, Let young Master Zhuge take the bid. Zhuge Jinxiang took out a stack of silver notes looked at the people around him with disdain, and said, "You want to buy a highest-grade medicine powder without money? Is this pill something that you all can afford?" TCH. No one dared to offend the divine Zhuge family. This Zhuge Jinxiang was one of the tyrants of the Fire-Glass City, and he did not end up well if they provoked him. Everyone kept their heads low and did not speak a word, even though they had been insulted. Zhuge Jinxiang received the pellet and looked at it carefully, saying, "This pellet is a little different from the last time with the highest-grade medicine powder. Master is indeed a master. He must have improved again." And then, Zhuge Jinxiang swallowed a whole and began to chew, asking with doubt, "Why does this pill smell a little sour?" Chapter 29. Poisonous Pill. Chapter 29. Poisonous Pill. Endure it. Endure it. He forcefully held in. Long Fei bit his tongue to prevent himself from laughing out loud. His face was completely red, and in the end, he couldn't hold back anymore. Ha ha! Everyone was looking at Zhuge Jinxiang. Suddenly hearing Long Fei's laughter, everyone looked at Xiang Long Fei. Lu Feng frowned. He had a bad premonition. Thinking back to when Long Fei took out the pill, his heart sank. Young Master Zhuge, the pill. With a gulp sound, Zhuge Jinxiang swallowed it whole and asked, "What happened to the pellets?" Lu Feng, wait a moment. As they spoke, Zhuge Jinxiang looked at Long Fei, who was laughing the happiest among the crowd. "Yo, isn't this the Long family's trash, Long Fei?" "Ha ha! Ha ha!" Long Fei could not hold it in and laughed even louder. Zhuge Jinxiang's face turned sinister and snorted, "Long Fei, what are you laughing at?" Long Fei held back and asked, "How did the pill feel just now?" Zhuge Jinxiang laughed coldly. "The highest-grade medicine powder came from the great grandmaster. Of course it's good, but the taste is a little strange." Then Zhuge Jinxiang's tone changed as he mocked. "A waste like you can't afford such a top-grade pellet. The dragon blood is drawn out. The pubes is broken. How does it feel like having all of your tendons and veins blocked? It must be great, ha-ha." Zhuge Jinxiang laughed. The corner of Long Fei's mouth curved up as he sneered. Zhuge Jinxiang said with disdain, "Trash, what are you laughing at?" Long Fei said coldly, "I'm laughing at you. You will fly out from here a bit. Don't think that you've eaten my—" Without waiting for Long Fei to finish speaking, Zhuge Jinxiang's stomach started rolling and shouting. Following that, he covered his stomach and revealed a look of pain. "Long Fei, I had something urgent today, so I'll let you go. Next time, don't let me see it, or else I'll beat you up until your teeth are all over the ground." "Ayo! Ouch! I can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore." Suddenly, pa-pa-pa-pa-pa, a weird sound came out from Zhuge Jinxiang's butt. So smelly. Damn, Zhuge Jinxiang got such a shock. "It really is. Look at his butt, it's wet." Ha! Following that, everyone burst out laughing. Zhuge Jinxiang's face was pale white. She could not resist it any longer as she stared at Lu Feng and said, The pill you gave me earlier was poisonous." Lu Feng was willing to give up. The pill had already been consumed by him. He could refuse to acknowledge his words and said seriously, "Young Master Zhuge, you can't speak carelessly. My pills were all made by the Grandmaster. If you dare to discredit the Fengyuan Merchant Union again, I won't be polite." Pa-pa-pa. Zhuge Jinxiang's buttocks made a series of popping sounds and couldn't hold on any longer. He grabbed onto his leg and escaped with all his might. "I'll definitely come back." As he ran, his butt made pa-pa-pa sounds. Moreover, from the bottom of his pants came a continuous stream of loose shit, causing him to burst out in laughter. "Serves you right. Ha ha! This Zhuge Jinxiang is going to cause a sensation in the entire city. I almost suffocated to death, huh?" He couldn't stop bursting into laughter. Lu Feng pulled Long Fei inside and said, "You brat, what did you give him to eat?" "I haven't bathed for half a month. I didn't expect this thing to be so powerful. It seems like I need to go through it some in the future." Lu Feng's face turned green. Long Fei asked, "Are you afraid of the Zhuge family?" Lu Feng's expression immediately changed and said, "The Fengyuan Merchant Union is afraid of him? For Pillars is not a match for the Fengyuan Merchant Union. If I want to be afraid of him, it would be you." I really didn't expect you to be Long Fei. He did not send anyone to investigate Long Fei because he was afraid of offending Long Fei. Of course, if Long Fei found out that the Fengyuan Merchant Union had followed him and investigated him, he would definitely not cooperate with the Fengyuan Merchant Union anymore. Long Fei scratched his head and laughed shamelessly. Handsome is always radiating light wherever he goes. I have always chosen to keep a low profile. I never thought that I would still be able to hide it, Sai. Lu Feng disdainfully said, "Stop acting like this." Long Fei said, "You won't reveal my identity, right?" Lu Feng became serious and said, "Don't worry. The Fengyuan Merchant Union does have some credibility. Your identity is absolutely confidential and will not be discovered." He was not an idiot, so why would he reveal Long Fei's identity? He was looking forward for Long Fei to not reveal it. This would be of great benefit to the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Lu Feng said, "You had a grudge with Zhuge Jinxiang? Did you also injure his body? I heard that a few days ago, someone secretly infiltrated the Zhuge family and beat up Zhuge Jinxiang. If it wasn't for the fact that Zhuge Tianlong came fast, he would have been beaten to death." Long Fei thought, did the blood refining sect make their move? Ha ha, it's really fast. He shook his head at Lu Feng and said, "I've been cultivating in seclusion at home for half a month." Right. Long Fei thought about his goal for coming here this time and asked, "Do you know what the material for refining this ring is?" "Spiritual void ring." Lu Feng was surprised for a moment and said, "Spending 150,000 to buy a space ring is really not worth it. I heard that it was brought out from the adventurer team's ancient tomb. We have tested the exact material, but we were unable to determine if it was actually a normal space ring." Long Fei was startled and said, "Then why did you say it was refined from a mysterious meteorite? Can't you have a bit of truth?" Lu Feng laughed. "So that's how you say it, to think someone like you would pay such a high price, haha. But then again, the material of this ring is really special. What are you asking it for?" Since Lu Feng didn't know, Long Fei didn't ask anymore and didn't provide any explanation either. He said in an exasperated manner, "Don't mind me. One more thing." Long Fei asked, "What spirit herbs does the true pill need to refine?" "True pill." Lu Feng was shocked and said, "That is a yellow rank level 5 pill, and this pill is scarce. The demand for this pill is also the biggest amongst yellow rank pills. You can refine it?" "I want to try." Long Fei did not hide anything this time. He had seen the true pill S on the alchemy book and knew their attributes. To him, this was one of the yellow rank medicinal pellet that could help him replenish his true breath. He had to prepare well for this time's family assessment. There must be a true pill. Just knowing what spiritual herb to use was not enough. One still needed a pill formula to refine faster. Lu Feng was excited at first, but then his brows tightened as he said, "The true pill Fengyuan Merchant Alliance does indeed have one. Just that. Wait here for a moment. I'll go ask my young miss. She can only give you the pill formula if she agrees." Long Fei said, "You can't even make decisions? Then I'll just talk it over with your little miss. I also want to see your little miss' true appearance." Lu Feng said, "Miss is currently receiving an important guest, and under normal circumstances, she will not receive any guests." Finished. Lu Feng then walked towards the pavilion. "I just want to see that master talisman refining master. I have a question that requires his help. Please, big cousin, please help big sister. Please, big sister, please help big senior sister." The 3 sisters of the Heaven sect were also here. Chapter 30. To help a beautiful woman unravel her doubts. Chapter 30. To help a beautiful woman unravel her doubts. Tian Tian. It's not that cousin doesn't want to help you. It's because our Fengyuan Merchant Union has its own principles. The little junior sister apprentice is called Xiao Tian Tian. The eldest senior sister is called Lu Luashi. Second senior sister's name is Yi Zian. Her big cousin is called Fu Shishan. Xiao Tianan grabbed Fu Shishan's wrist and shook it. "Big cousin sister, please help me. I'm begging you. When I get back, I will tell my father. I want him to buy pills from your Fengyuan Merchant Union." Fu Shishan did not buy it and said, There are so many alchemy grandmasters in the Heaven sect. Do you still need to buy pills from me? Luoshi replied. Forget about the little junior sister apprentice. I was in the wrong. Since Pavilion Master Fu is in trouble, we shouldn't disturb him any further. Fu Shishan got up and said, I'm really sorry. I can't reveal his identity. Luoshi laughed. I know. Master's identity is a top secret. It was impossible to expose such a situation. Once it was exposed, other forces would suppress it and even assassinate it. At this moment, Lu Feng asked from outside, Miss, he needs the true pill formulas. What should we do? Xiao Tian asked curiously. Who is he? It can't be that master, right? Fu Shishan's brows slightly moved. She knew who Lu Feng was speaking of in her heart. After pondering for a moment, she said, The true pill is my Fengyuan Merchant Union's top secret medicinal formula. Lu Feng immediately nodded. I understand. Just as Lu Feng was about to leave, Fu Shishan suddenly called out to him. Did he say what he wants to do with the true pill? Lu Feng answered. He said that he wanted to try refining a true pill, because there is no pill, so he did not. Fu Shishan glanced at Luoshi and said, Give him the true pill's pill formula, but there's a condition for him to solve a question. If he's not willing to appear, then let his disciple explain it to him. Disciple? Lu Feng muttered in his heart. Then, Big cousin, you're willing to help me? Hee. Big cousin, you're the best. Xiao Tian was overjoyed. Luoshi gratefully said, Thank you, Pavilion Master Fu. Fu Shishan laughed. You're welcome. My little cousin wants to trouble you all to take care of her a bit more. Who is Luoshi? Fu Shishan didn't know, but he knew that there was an inner sect elder surnamed Lu in the Heaven sect who was able to get along with Xiao Tian. This meant that her identity was not simple. Helping her once was equivalent to owing him a favor, so he might be able to use it in the future. Then there was Long Fei. It was a fair deal to give him the true pill formula and let him meet someone. To Long Fei, he would definitely be grateful to the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Fu Shishan was a businessman. Everything she did was for the sake of benefits and the development of the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Lu Feng naturally understood after hearing the conversation in the room and immediately said, Today, it just so happens to be his disciple. I'll go tell him right now. There shouldn't be any problems. I have to solve a girl's puzzle. Long Fei was startled, then laughed vulgarly. Is a girl beautiful? I am an expert in love, specifically to rescue the lost in love of the beautiful girl. Lu Feng said, You agreed? Long Fei said, I agree, but the condition is that she has to be pretty, otherwise I will not wait on you. Lu Feng laughed. She's as beautiful as a fairy, but there's one thing you need to be careful of. You definitely cannot let her know your true identity. Long Fei said, Don't worry. Not long later, Lu Feng brought the 3 Sky Sect sisters to the back room. Long Fei was truly savoring the taste of the holy tea in big gulps. Every time he came here, he would use up all of his true breath and then soak himself in a big pot of holy tea to slowly recover. Feeling the recovery of the true breath. How comfortable. Huh, it's him. Xiao Tian was the first to walk into the hall. Seeing Long Fei's satisfied look, he could not help but say, Why are you here? You aren't doing odd jobs here, are you? F***CK. It's you guys. Long Fei was also surprised and immediately said, You aren't polite to your savior. Forget it. Old man Lu, what happened today is just like this. It's just a mere true pill formula. I believe that with my master's ability, it'll take him less than half a month to figure out the pill formula. Long Fei pretended to be a disciple of an expert and arrogantly strode out of the hall. Lu Feng was also stunned. He thought to himself, What kind of act is this? Luoshi immediately stepped forward and said respectfully, I am unsensible. I hope young hero will not take offense. Young hero is our savior. We 3 sisters dare not forget. Yixian looked at Long Fei and muttered in her heart. Wasn't it said that the young master of the Long family had his blood essence of the dragon god extracted, and the pubes' veins would be broken? How can it be used for alchemy or for refining talismans. Long Fei said coldly and arrogantly, "Get her to apologize to me." You, Xiao Tian was immediately angered. "You wish. Do you think you can save us all? It was because I was unconscious. Otherwise, my cultivation would not need you to save me." Lu Luoxi stared at him and bellowed, "Junior sister apprentice." "Oh." Xiao Tian immediately became impotent and said unwillingly to Long Fei, "I'm sorry." Long Fei picked his ears and said, "What did you say? I didn't hear you." Xiao Tiantian's fiery temper rose again, and she wanted to pinch Long Fei to death. Seeing her big senior sister's eyes, she immediately said obediently, "I'm sorry, young hero Long." He really couldn't accept it. However, the voice was truly sweet, giving off a feeling of numbness. Long Fei purposely said, "Let me hear it again." Xiao Tian could not hold it in anymore. "Long Fei, don't push your luck." Long Fei looked at Xiao Tian and asked, "Do you still want to know the refining process of top-quality Sword Teeth Tiger spell note? For senior sister, I will endure it. Next time, don't let Long Fei fall in my hands. If not, I will definitely tear you into pieces." Humph. Xiao Tian said angrily. She looked really cute when she was angry. Long Fei said, "Wait till I land in your hands. Why don't you apologize now?" Xiao Tian was so angry that his face was flushed red. He had been holding back his anger and had to pretend to be gentle and said, "Young hero, I am sorry. I was wrong." Long Fei revealed a forgiving look and said, "Forget it. This young master will not care about this little girl anymore." "You." Xiao Tian was furious. Without waiting for her to finish speaking, Long Fei looked at Lu Luoxi and said, "If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I can answer them for you." Xiao Tian rolled his eyes as he said to Long Fei, "You can't answer my senior sister's question. I think it's better to just call your master out. You don't have to embarrass yourself." Lu Luoxi reprimanded her. Tian." Xiao Tian immediately pouted and looked outside. Lu Luoxi respectfully asked, "I have already researched the top-quality Sword Teeth Tiger spell note. How can I make the talisman display its full power? I can't create too many True Breath S into the second-grade talisman. Its might is limited. How do you do that?" If the True Breath was injected too much, the talisman would easily fail. With less True Breath being injected into the talisman, its might would decrease. It would be difficult for low-grade talismans to explode with such power. Long Fei said, "Very simple. Use the beast's blood essence in place of cinnabar." Lu Luoxi was shocked. Lu Feng, who was at the side, was also dumbfounded. He suddenly realized something and thought to himself, so it was a talisman refined using the blood essence of Sword Teeth Tiger. No one in the gods' martial continent had ever done this before. Looking at their shocked faces, Long Fei said, "It's just blood essence in place of cinnabar. Is there a need to be so shocked? Never seen the world." Chapter 31. I'm going to undress him and show him. Chapter 31. I'm going to undress him and show him breaking the tradition and creating glory. Who would have thought that Long Fei would use beast blood essence to replace the traditional cinnabar? His words had a huge effect on Lu Luoxi, completely overturning his understanding of talisman arts. His heart worshipped Long Fei's master greatly and directly treated him as his idol. She was a low-grade talisman master. After studying for so many years, only today could she finally see what a talisman was. Then how can I refine an attribute talisman? Wind, illusion, and water elements. It's impossible for a genius with 3 elements to exist. How did your master do it? Lu Luoxi asked. This question was very direct. Lu Feng also pricked up his ears as he listened. He also wanted to know. Long Fei laughed faintly. Luck? What? Lu Luoxi did not understand and asked, "Luck?" Long Fei said, 3-type talismans are extremely difficult to refine. Even my master has to put in a lot of effort. As for how to refine it, it can only be said to be due to luck. Of course, if you can fuse with a wind, magic, or water-type demon core, It will definitely be beneficial for your talisman refinement. That was all he could say. If he said more, it would only end Long Fei's road to riches. Long Fei was not an idiot. He would not say everything out loud just because the other party was beautiful. Lu Luoxi still did not understand and asked, "Can young hero please explain it in more detail?" Long Fei laughed. "No." However, Lu Luoxi was a little disappointed. When he heard that there was a turning point in his words, he immediately asked, "But what?" Long Fei revealed a silly look and said, "My master said that this is his ancestral secret technique. Other than me, it cannot be passed on to outsiders." Xiao Tianyang raged, "Long Fei, you toad want to eat swan meat. Don't go overboard." Long Fei also did not dare show weakness as he disdainfully said, "Even if I were a toad, I would not eat this chest-less swan meat of yours. No breasts." Airport. This was Xiao Tiantian's reverse scale. Immediately, the small universe completely exploded out, just like a little tiger pouncing on Long Fei and killing him. "I don't have a chest. Your eyes saw that I don't have a chest. My chest is big." Yi Zian continued to pull Xiao Tiantian. Long Fei intentionally said, "I didn't see it because I didn't see it. That's why I knew you didn't have chest. I wanted to prove that you have a big chest. Take it off and let me see it." You ah. "Senior sister, let me go. I want to take off my clothes for him to see." No. I'm spitting. I'm going to kill him." Xiao Tiantian was enraged. Lu Luoxi was a little embarrassed as he said, "Young hero, I've let you down. I thank you for your explanation today." Ziyin, take little junior sister apprentice away. Lu Luoxi then bowed to Lu Feng and said, "Please inform Pavilion Master Fu that Luo, she is extremely grateful. If you have any matters in the future, come and find me at the Sky Sect branch office." On the street. I'm so angry. Xiao Tiantian thought about it and was angered. He actually said that I don't have a chest. Is he blind? After saying that, she lowered her head to look at her chest, then looked at her two senior sisters' protruding breasts, crying out, "Senior sister, how come your breasts are so big?" Yi Zian laughed. "Little junior sister apprentice, have you fallen for Long Fei?" "What? I like him? Even if all the men in the world die, I won't like him. I wish I could cut him into pieces," Xiao Tiantian said angrily. Yi Zian said, "You felt something wrong the moment you saw him. There are so many handsome geniuses in the Heaven Sect, yet you didn't even look at him. But he's different. I'm sure you've fallen for him." Xiao Tiantian wanted to cry, but there were no tears. "Senior sister, don't make fun of me. You and eldest senior sister, on the other hand, were the ones who threatened to marry him in the cave." Looking for a beating, Yi Zian angrily rebuked. Xiao Tiantian shouted loudly, "You must be thinking deep down inside. Senior sister, save me." Along the way, Lu Luoxi was deep in thought. She was completely focused on the matter of the talisman. Her mind was continuously practicing, and her heart was also incessantly asking herself, is it really possible? He can refine top-quality talismans just by fusing with a demon core? However, where can I get my hands on the demon core? If only Long Fei could explain things a little clearer. After the three Sky Sect sisters left, Lu Feng gave Long Fei a big thumbs up and said, "Do you know who they are?" Long Fei said, "A disciple of the Heaven Sect." Lu Feng was even more shocked and said, "You know their identities and you dare to speak like that. You're truly powerful. They're not just the disciples of the Heaven Sect. Their fathers are all elders of the Heaven Sect. They are not simple people." "How is the elder's daughter?" Long Fei did not think much of it and said, "Don't say such useless things. I've already done what you requested. Now you should give me the true pill formula, right?" Lu Feng did not hesitate as he took out the pill formula and said, "The true pill is the top secret pill formula of the Fengyuan Merchant Union. I hope you do not spread it to anyone." "Understood." Long Fei took the pill formula and handed over a simple space ring and said, "There are 100 healing pills and 30 highest grade medicine powder. All of the spirit herbs are provided by you. The price will be according to the original price, but I want you to provide me with the spirit herbs used to refine true pill. Give me as much as you want. 130 highest grade medicine powder. Lu Feng's breathing immediately became hurried. Long Fei looked at him and said, "If your body isn't well, then rest more. I'm not responsible for scaring you into a heart attack." Right. If I have more of the 5-level monster's blood essence, I would need to refine some talismans. The more talismans, the better. If I can't beat you, I'll smash you to death with my talisman. Lu foamed down a cup of holy tea and suppressed his shock, saying, "The Long family is taking the family's examination. Are you preparing for the family's examination?" Long Fei nodded and said, "And?" Lu Feng asked doubtfully, "Your age doesn't meet the family's assessment criteria. Could it be that someone is forcing you to do so?" "It's Long Zhanwu," Long Fei said. "Other than him, who else could it be?" Lu Feng kept this in mind and didn't ask any further questions. The Long family's examination was the hardest one of the 4 pillars as families. The disciples who participated were all over 20 years old, and their cultivation were all level 5 battle masters and above. Most of them were warriors of the war spirit realm. To Long Fei, this examination was extremely difficult. Other than that, he was most worried that Long Zhanwu had a trick up his sleeve. After Long Fei left, Lu Feng immediately reported this matter to Fu Xishan. Fu Xishan pondered for a moment, then said, "Inform Uncle Black. Get him to pay attention to Long Zhanwu's movements. If possible, ask him to protect Long Fei and tell him that I'm begging him." Lu Feng said, "I'll go look for him now." Long Fei was very important to him. The Fengyuan Merchant Union had a decisive role to play in monopolizing the Fire Glass City's market. Long Fei. Chapter 32, Trigger Task. Chapter 32, Trigger Task, ding. Failure, proficiency +1, ding. Failure, proficiency +1. Continuously failing, Long Fei thought in his heart. True pill is precisely true pill. It's really too difficult to grasp. After returning from the Fengyuan Merchant Union, Long Fei was in his room studying True Pill. Dozens of times had passed, but not a single one had succeeded. Long Fei also slowed down his pace and started to study the ingredients bit by bit, understanding the ratio of the properties of the spirit grass to the spirit grass, and then to the temperature. In the blink of an eye, 5 days passed. Ding! Refining is a success. I finally succeeded. Long Fei was excited. He immediately checked the True Pill stats. Item: True Pill, True Breath. 500 points. Description: recovers 500 True Breath S within 3 seconds. Cannot be used again within 5 minutes. Recovering 500 True Breath S in 3 seconds is more than enough for me. Long Fei became excited. He had already grasped the refining method of True Pill and started to refine crazily. The True Breath was used up, so he ate the healing pill. The True Breath was full, and he began to refine it again. Late at night, Long Zhanwu's room. Long Zhanya said in a low voice, "Big brother, Killer at Failure Alliance has already arrived at Fireglass City and is waiting for Long Zhanhai to come out." "All right." Long Zhanwu let out an excited cry and said, "Tomorrow is the family assessment. How are you going to resolve the matter with Long Fei?" Long Zhanya laughed sinisterly. "Everything has been prepared. No matter how powerful Long Fei is, he can't possibly be a match for someone in the War Spirit realm." Long Zhanya smiled mysteriously and said, "Big brother, this time, Failure Alliance will buy 1 free. Other than Long Zhanhai, I will also report Long Fei to the sect. If our people can't settle Long Fei's problem during the clan assessment, Failure Alliance will also make a move, and this time, Long Fei won't be able to escape either." Long Zhanwu's eyes flashed with a bright light. "Long Fei, as long as you die in the family assessment grounds, no one will suspect me. So what if they suspect you? You are just a broken waste of the pubes. How many people would care about a piece of trash dying?" Ha ha. Fengyuan Merchant Union. Lu Feng reported to Fu Xishan, "I received news from the Black Elder that Long Zhanwu had invited the Killer at Failure Alliance to participate in the family exam, so we can take care of Long Fei." As expected, Fu Xishan frowned. Lu Feng hesitated for a moment, then said, "Black Old Man wanted me to tell you. The Fengyuan Merchant Union cannot interfere in local affairs. I'm afraid the higher-ups will blame them if they get involved. This was the reason why the Fengyuan Merchant Union was able to survive for 1,000 years. He would absolutely not interfere in earthly affairs. They were not involved in any dispute. Fu Shishan was very clear of this point and said, "Elder Lu, I'm going out for a while." Half an hour later, Fu Shishan appeared in the branch in the Chao Tian sect. The Fengyuan Merchant Union could not interfere in local affairs, but there were people who could. For example, the Chao Heaven sect. The Long family's examination was an extremely important matter in the Fireglass City. Furthermore, the Three Pillars and the Nangong royal family were closely watching the Long family's examination. Of course, every year, there would be people infiltrating the exam grounds to investigate the Long family's disciples. This year was even more different. The dragon's roar continued to ferment, causing the Three Pillars and the Nangong imperial family to pay more attention. Divine Zhuge Prefecture, this is a very good opportunity. We have to find out who the Dragon God warriors are. If you can't kill him. Understood. Yes, sir. Zhuge Tianlong had trained a group of death soldiers specifically to assassinate the geniuses of other families. He couldn't let the Dragon God warriors rise to greatness, as it would affect the future of the Zhuge family. Li martial arts sect was the same. Nangong Lei. Nangong also sent people to the examination grounds. The Long family had been going downhill all these years. However, no one dared to underestimate the Long family, especially the Long family's army. In Fireglass Dynasty, the Long family army's reputation was shocking, and its fighting strength was peerless. The Long family's Grand Elder was in closed-door training. Whoever was a Dragon God soldier could control the Long family's army. In the Three Pillars, the Nangong imperial family didn't want to see the Dragon God warriors appear again in the Long family. If they didn't expect the Long family's army to suddenly appear in the Fireglass City, that would be fatal for them. In the dead of night, the killing intent was boundless. Long Fei sat in the courtyard and ate the supper that Jojo had prepared for him, quietly staring at the night sky. Jojo massaged his shoulders and back. This feeling was too comfortable. Jojo, when I'm not around, you should avoid going out as much as possible. If anyone dares to bully you, don't worry so much and just smash their face with talismans. Long Fei warned again, if that doesn't work, you should escape to the Fengyuan Merchant Union to find Lu Feng. He will protect you. Right now, the only person he was worried about was Jojo. These days, Long Fei had always been thinking of ways to help Jojo cultivate, but he did not know why Jojo was unable to grasp the main point. Born to be stupid? No. Rather, it was her body that was a little special, as if she was unable to accept the martial arts training. In the end, Long Fei had no other choice. Jojo laughed faintly. "Young master, don't worry. I will remember all the things you taught me. But you have to be careful. The Long family's exam is the harshest." Long Fei reached out and grabbed Jojo's slender hand and said, "Don't worry. This young master is invincible." Jojo struggled a bit, but was unable to free herself from it, causing her face to turn red, her heart to thump wildly in her chest, not daring to say another word. Damn it. If you want to take the family test, then do it properly. Whoever dares to provoke Laozi, Laozi will definitely kill him. Long Fei muttered in his heart. All night, even Long Fei was not idle. He was still cultivating his cultivation technique. The 1 month of cultivation of the Wind Shadow Step had increased to level 1. Dragon Salyer technique cultivation was too slow. Long Fei kept trying and also succeeded in making a breakthrough. Right now, the Dragon Chop's blade energy was stacked up to 120 levels, making it even more harmful. If the toting skill was completely unleashed, it would deal 400% of the best damage. With the bonus from the Spirit Ring, the damage would be even more severe if it was a critical hit. The pills were well prepared. The talismans were well prepared. If there was still time, Long Fei would have definitely refined a few super puppets. Everything was ready, and all he had to do was wait for the exam. Early morning. The sky was bright. The The Long family's martial arts arena was packed full of people. Long Zhanwu stood on the stage and said loudly, "For the clan examination, every disciple of the Long family must use all their strength and bring out all the results of your years of cultivation. You are the future of the Long family, the hope of the Long family." And then another elder walked up and said, "The family examination is divided into two parts. The first round is the Fire Glass Mountain Range trial. The results of the first round are based on the demon beast points you have hunted. Level 1 monster 10 points, second level 50 points, third level 100 points, fourth level 500 points, fifth level 1,000 points. Of course, let me remind everyone, if you meet any 3-rate monster and beast, you should leave as soon as possible. If you meet level 4, you can run as fast as you want when you're level 5. The second round, the Long family arena battle. Only the top 16 disciples of the first round can participate. The first place reward is great." At this time, Long Zhanwu smiled and said, "The first person will be qualified to select the Sky Sect next year, be able to enter the banquet of Forbidden Peak Palace at the end of the year, and also receive the right to cultivate the Long family's heaven-ranked technique, Dragon Break." As soon as Long Zhanwu finished his sentence, a system announcement suddenly sounded out in Long Fei's mind. Ding! Chapter 33, Come Out. Chapter 33, Come Out. The system sounded out. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for triggering the quest and seizing first place in the family exam. Mission: fight for the first place in the family assessment level. A task reward: 100,000 experience points, 1,000 points, True Breath, 500 points, War Dragon Armor, Earth Stage. As expected, Long Fei thought to himself, "I knew it could trigger missions. The reward is 500 points. Adding my current points, I can exchange it for a demonic cultivator. Haha, your father is determined to win." At the same time, Martial Arts Arena was shocked. For the Heaven Sect selection, the entire Long family only has one spot. If they can enter the Heaven Sect, that would be great. It must be mine. Whoever wants to fight with me, I'll fight with him with my life. Also, the Banquet of Forbidden Peak. This is the most grand annual banquet that only the geniuses of the various families are qualified to attend. Those are all empty. The Dragon Break is the most important. This is a secret manual left behind by the great ancestor. If you train it, you will be invincible within the same level. Many of the Long family disciples were incomparably excited. This year's rewards for the family exam were much more generous than last year's. Apart from the prizes on the surface, they would also receive the full upbringing of the Long family. Long Zhanwu slightly pressed down with both hands and said, "Does anyone have any other questions?" One of the disciples looked at Xiang Longfei and sneered. This year, there's also a piece of trash participating in the clan's examination. With that, everyone looked at Xiang Longfei. The gazes of those people all revealed cold and disdainful smiles. Long Zhanwu also revealed a proud smile. The disciple continued, "I don't care how he participated in the clan's exam. I just want to ask if he died inside. Should he be responsible? Cousin brother Long Yong is right. Didn't he claim to be the young master of the Long family? What if they fought over something with the young lord and accidentally killed him? What would they do then? That is the young master of the Long family, the young master of pubes that is broken, and whose veins are stagnant, the laughingstock of the Fireglass City." "Ha ha! Ha ha!" The martial arts arena mocked. Long Zhanwu said, "The main purpose of the family assessment is to increase your cultivations. As for the incident in the competition, as for the accident, everyone try your best to avoid it. If not, then you can only blame yourself for not being good at learning." Long Yong smiled confidently, looked at Long Fei, and arrogantly said, "Young master, you must not meet me in the examination grounds, or else there will really be an accident." "Ha ha! Young master? Ha ha ha! The god of war is more or less the same." "Long Fei, you are the shame of the Long family. You better not meet me. If not, I will teach you a lesson." Long Fei silently stood in the midst of the crowd, his face expressionless as he looked at the disciples of the Long family who were ridiculing him, and muttered in his heart, 10 points in energy values, 20 points, 30 points. Counting it, we should be able to increase our energy values by a few hundred points this time. Since Long Zhanwu had the accident theory, then Long Fei was a lot more at ease. Long Zhanwu looked at Long Fei and thought, Long Fei, you won't be able to escape this time. After pausing for a moment, Long Zhanwu looked at the hour and said, let's go. Half a day later, outside Fireglass Mountain Range, Fire Wolf Valley. In a huge valley, there was only one kind of demon beast, the Fire Wolf. An elder standing outside the valley said, you have to come out on time 3 days later or your results will be invalid. Remember, you must not leave the territory of the Fire Wolf Valley, otherwise you will be in great danger. Let's enter the valley now. As soon as he finished, over 100 disciples of the Long family quickly shouted, is there anyone who would like to go together? Level 1 War Spirit. We need to team up quickly. Hurry up, we only need 5 people. It was just like in the game where a party was requested to hunt a boss, but a group of people quietly entered the Fire Wolf Valley. Huff! Long Fei took a deep breath and said, it's really a familiar feeling. It's just that in the past it was within the game. Now it's the real world. Let's start. And then, Long Fei stepped into the Fire Wolf Valley. After he entered the Fire Wolf Valley, there were immediately a few disciples of the Long family following behind him. In another place, Long Zhanyu reported, Big brother, my men have already followed them. Long Zhanwu asked, where are the people from a failure alliance? Long Zhanyu said, I'm already in position. If my men don't finish off Long Fei within 2 days, Failure Alliance's assassins will attack. You can be at ease. Failure Alliance has never failed before. Long Zhanwu laughed with satisfaction. Very good. 3 pillars and the Nangong royal family received the news at the same time. The Long family's examination venue, Fire Wolf Valley. Zhuge Tianlong laughed coldly. The Li family, Nangong Lei, and Nangong Ho should have already made their moves. We can't fall behind either. The Long family has already descended into the west. It's time to change the situation of the Fireglass City. Have a Death Soldier's move. Yes, sir. Fireglass Mountain Range was not far from him. Senior sister, are we really going to protect that bastard? Xiao Tian was very unwilling, but when she thought of the scene of Long Fei saying that her breasts were small, she felt her heart going crazy. Now that she had come to protect him, she was extremely unwilling. Yi Zian laughed. Little junior sister apprentice, you talk about him every day. I see that you want to see that bastard more than us. Xiao Tian immediately said, I really wish to see him again, then chopped me into 8 pieces and actually said that I have a small chest. Lu Luoshi said, I owe Pavilion Master Fu a favor, and I also owe Long Fei a favor. This time, I just happen to repay them back, and like this, we won't owe each other anything. It's the 2 of you. Why are you following me? Regarding this matter, Lu Luoshi had promised her that she would do it alone, but Xiao Tian and Yi Zian insisted on following. Without waiting for the 2 girls to speak, Lu Luoshi joked, You 2 like that bastard, right? Not at all. Xiao Tian immediately denied. Yi Zian's face was slightly startled. She said, I came to protect senior sister. That is the killer at Failure Alliance. Xiao Tian also immediately said, I'm here to protect second senior sister. That's a killer at Failure Alliance, after all. Lu Luoshi laughed. You 2 don't need to quibble. Long Fei looks average, but he is also a type that can bear to watch. Moreover, his body is giving off a unique charm, so the 2 of you are definitely captivated by him. Eldest senior sister, you even notice the unique charm of his body. Don't you also? Xiao Tian said slyly. Lu Luoshi glared at him. Xiao Tian immediately ran out. Senior sister, you also like that bastard, huh? For hours later, the Long family's disciples had completely disappeared from the valley. Long Fei increased his speed to the maximum and traveled continuously. After 4 hours of trekking, he finally reached the edge of an extremely remote place and looked around to see if there were any other disciples from the Long family present. Long Fei stopped. A smile hung on his face and turned. Aren't you tired after following me all the way? Come out and play. Chapter 34. This is your cemetery. Chapter 34. This is your cemetery. Do you think you're running after 4 hours of dashing? Wrong. Long Fei was looking for a place without people, where he could still kill people. Suaso. The three disciples of the Long family did not continue to hide and walked out from the shadows. The leading man coldly laughed. Long Fei, what do you want me to say about you? He actually brought me to such a desperate situation and found me such a remote place. Is he looking for a tomb? Brothers attack. We just caused an accident with Long Fei because he overestimated himself and wanted to steal our fire wolf beast. After speaking a few words with dignity, the three of them immediately surrounded Long Fei. Long Fei smiled faintly. Before I die, can you tell me why? The man in the lead said, Why what? Long Fei asked, Why did you kill me as if I had never offended you before? Or is it that you were ordered by someone, Long Zhanwu? The man in the lead sneered, I don't mind telling you. You are a dead man anyway. You're right. It was indeed the Grand Elder who sent us. The reason is simple, is because you overestimated yourself and blocked the great clan elder's path. Oh, understood. Long Fei nodded and said, I am sure now. The man in the lead asked, Are you sure about what? The corner of Long Fei's mouth drew back, and a sword-teeth tiger spell note landed between his two fingers. It revealed a death god smile and said, Indeed, you can all go and die now. Go. He released a glyph. Then, Long Fei released his wind shadow step, causing a wind to blow beneath his feet as layers of illusions appeared. It was impossible to see his speed and direction. With a move of the desolate blade, he slashed down, skin cracking. Roar. The sword-teeth tiger spell note threw one of the Long family's disciple to the ground, opened its mouth wide, and bit off the disciple's neck, blood gushing out wildly. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei. Instant kill. At this moment, the dragon salure technique that Long Fei had released had killed another disciple who was at the 8th level of the Battlemaster. Another instant kill. He then jumped into the air and landed heavily on the ground, Gua Gua. The leader felt his scalp go numb. In less than 3 seconds, his two brothers were killed in an instant. And when he saw Long Fei crawling on the ground and doing some weird actions, the first thought that flashed through his mind was to escape. Long Fei, just you wait, I won't let you off. He quickly fled. Seeing that Long Fei had not caught up, his heart slightly relaxed as he thought to himself, he should not be able to catch up before he could finish. Bam! He rushed forward, and his spine was fractured. A strong wave of true breath rushed into his internal organs, and he heard a cold voice from behind him. Kill him. Crack! His internal organs were all twisted, as if they were being stirred up by a meat grinder. Puff, puff, puff. Blood spewed out as his internal organs were completely minced, and he fell to the ground. Die. Ding! The system rang out once again. Long Fei said coldly, Don't provoke me. If not, even if it's the Emperor, I will still kill him. He was incomparably domineering. After taking care of the 3 members of the Long family, Long Fei did not stay any longer. 1 hour later, Long Ao bellowed, Useless trash, you're going to lose it along with other people. Young master, what do we do now? Long Ao said coldly, Of course we have to keep searching. Let Long Yong move out. Remember to definitely capture Long Fei alive. I want to personally deal with him. He had to take revenge for 2 slaps. Yes, sir. Long Fei only stopped when he was deep within the Fire Wolf Alley. Looking at the wolf that had a body that seemed to be covered in flames, he shouted out, It's moving. The wind shadow step moved. His steps were like an illusion, like the wind, but also like a mirage. The level 1 Fire Wolf didn't even have time to react before its head was chopped off by Long Fei. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for defeating Firewolf for obtaining 300 experience and 10 true breath. The journey to level up has begun. Hearing that, the system beep's blood started to boil. Long Fei placed the Firewolf head into the space ring released by the Long family. Then, he locked onto the second Firewolf head and continued to kill. Ding, ding, ding. The system's voice rang out incessantly. 2 hours later. Ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Currently level 7 Battle Master. A 7th grade Battle Master is still not strong enough. Half of the examinees were in the War Spirit realm, so if they met him, it would definitely be very troublesome. Moreover, if Long Zhan wanted to get rid of him, she couldn't possibly only send a few War Division realm disciples. There would definitely be some experts behind her. Long Fei had to hurry and make a breakthrough. Only by leveling up would he be able to obtain even more power and be able to fight against experts at the War Spirit realm. Continue. The more Long Fei killed, the fiercer he became. With the experience from killing beasts in the Fireglass Mountain range, it was very easy for him to deal with rank 1 beasts. For an entire day, Long Fei kept killing firewolves in the depths of the valley, and the corpses of the firewolves were everywhere. His experience points had also risen by half. Night descended. The time for demonic beasts to be controlled had arrived. Night was the time for monstrous beasts to search for food. At that time, all sorts of monstrous beasts would come out, and at night, they would become even more ferocious to monstrous beasts. Most importantly, their vision at night was much better than humans. Roar. On a cliff, a wolf howled. Next, the 10,000 wolves in the valley roared together, and the entire valley was filled with a dangerous aura. Under normal circumstances, at night, all the disciples of the Long family were in hiding. Only one madman was still there, and he was killing to his heart's content. Ha! Fire wolves are becoming more and more concentrated. It's really too awesome. If I kill another night, I'll definitely be able to break through the 8-level warrior. Long Fei was not afraid of anything. He was just afraid that there would be no demon beasts to kill. The smell of fresh blood pervaded the air. Fire Wolf was gathering. They were all gathered near Xiang Long Fei. Wolves. More than 500 wolves. I'll kill again. The more Long Fei killed, the easier it became for him to kill him. Using the wind shadow step, Fire Wolf couldn't even hurt him at all. His entire body seemed like he was dancing. Big Senior, do you think he's crazy? Does he not know that it is demon beast time at night, and he wants to hide? Senior's sister, the surrounding fire wolves are rapidly gathering. All of them are facing the sky. Should we? The 3 Sky Sect sisters had discovered Long Fei an hour ago. They were closely watching Long Fei from the shadows. Lu Luoshi pondered for a moment, then said, "What we promised Pavilion Master Fu is to deal with him. As for the other matters, they are not our business." Xiao Tiantian was stunned for a moment, and then muttered, "Big Senior, what we're doing isn't really good, right?" Yi Zian teased. "Is the little junior sister apprentice's heart aching?" Xiao Tiantian immediately said, "I don't have any heartache. It's best if he dies." "Big idiot, big stupid pig. I don't even know if I'll be surrounded by firewolves right now." Yi Zian smiled even more. "You're still saying it's because your heart hurts, but I think you just want to rush out and help him." Lu Luoshi's voice sank, and he said, "Don't make a sound. The wolf pack is coming." Chapter 35. Chase and Kill All the Way. Chapter 35. Chase and Kill All the Way. Woo woo woo. Woo woo woo. A series of heart-stirring growls came from the darkness. Then, there were more and more pairs of green eyes glowing with a cold light. The surrounding area was densely packed with fire wolves, occupying the entire narrow valley. Bam! Bam! One after another of fire wolves jumped down and stood in front of Long Fei. The fangs shone with a cold light as he walked towards Xiang Long Fei step by step. Wolves! Long Fei was too engrossed in the battle, and by the time he found the wolf pack, it was already too late. However, Long Fei clenched both his fists tightly, raised his head, and swallowed a true pill. His true breath recovered 500 points, and he muttered, "I've cultivated for a month's worth of skills." It was also at this time. Xiao Bai poked his head out from Yun Che's embrace, rubbed his eyes, still in a slightly drowsy state, and said, "Master, do you want me to come?" Long Fei said, "If you continue sleeping, I can handle it." "Oh, Xiaobai yawned without saying a word. He turned and walked back to the war pet's space to sleep. Long Fei said, "You're not being courteous at all." Ooh. His heart calmed down as his right hand gripped the desolate saber tightly. His body slightly sank as he wildly laughed and said, "Come." Chua. With a step, Long Fei suddenly rushed out. Does he want to die? What does he want to do? Does he think he's a match for the wolves? Eldest senior sister, what should we do? Xiao Tian became anxious. She usually liked to bicker with Long Fei, but she had a kind heart. Yi Zian did not tease Xiao Tian anymore, but asked seriously, "Senior sister, if we did not attack, he might have been torn apart by the fire wolves." Lu Luoxi was also a little worried in her heart, but she still maintained her composure and said, "Let's take a look first." The feeling Long Fei gave her was not ordinary at all. In the face of the wolf pack Long Fei, he did not panic at all. Instead, he could see a hint of excitement in his eyes. The true breath moved. Long Fei's feet moved like the wind. The desolate blade in his hands continued to slash down, skin opening, tendons breaking, bones breaking, blood cutting, spirit awakening, spirit stunning, slay. The dragon salyer technique was released one after another. The saber chi continued to superimpose on each other. The Octotera blade almost couldn't endure the dragon salyer's chi anymore, and it started to tremble nonstop in Long Fei's hands. The 7 moves of dragon salyer technique were released. Long Fei retreated quickly. The surrounding fire wolves swarmed over, and dozens of fire wolves swooped down, wanting to tear Long Fei into shreds. At this moment, Long Fei's body sank, revealing a cold smile, and said, "Dragon chop." Chua. As the saber slashed down, layers of saber chi were released. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Asterisk half-moon saber chi flew out violently and instantly killed one fire wolf after another. First level, second level, third level. With every layer of blade, aura released, Long Fei would silently read out a number. As he counted, the fire wolf cried out miserably, its severed limbs flying everywhere, and its fresh blood splattering everywhere. One after another, fire wolves were killed. One after another, notifications rang out. Ding, ding, ding. It was like setting off firecrackers. 128. Another level of improvement. Long Fei was a little bit excited. The Dragon Salyer technique was a divine level technique. It was extremely difficult to upgrade it even a little. One more layer of the blade aura was equivalent to one more layer of damage. Furthermore, the further the saber chi went, the greater the damage. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Ding! Congratulations player Long Fei for killing 1,000 firewolves. You have received the title Wolf Slayer. You have received 1,000 experience points, 100 true breath, 10 energy values, 10 points reward, and 10% increase in damage to Firewolf. I've obtained a title. Long Fei was overjoyed, looking at the chaotic scene around him, and then looking at the fire wolves that were continuously retreating. Are you afraid? Trying to run? If I don't agree, none of you will escape. While they were talking, Long Fei pounced forward with his desolate blade. The more than 300 fire wolves were scared to the point of peeing, as if they were chased by demons. The battle strength of the wolves were extremely ferocious, but Long Fei was even more ferocious than them. The ruthlessness of the Dragon Salyer technique made every single fire wolf feel fear. That kind of blade energy that could destroy everything was too crazy and too tyrannical. It was not an attack they could endure. I've only heard of wolves chasing people, and I've never seen people chasing wolves. Eldest senior sister, are our eyes playing tricks on us? Xiao Tian rubbed his eyes, a little unable to believe what he had just seen. Yi Zian's face was also filled with disbelief. She said, "Isn't this guy too abnormal?" Lu Luoxi was also extremely shocked in his heart, and muttered, "The power unleashed by the War Division realm is even stronger than what the War Spirit told me. The kind of blade technique he cultivates is at least at the heaven stage. It seems like his mysterious master is too powerful. To be able to use alchemy, refine talismans, and have a powerful cultivation technique, is there such a strong practitioner in the Fire Glass City?" Or is it the Grand Elder of the Long family? The three of them were getting more and more confused by Long Fei. Xiao Tiantian looked at Long Fei, who was chasing after the pack of wolves, and laughed. So handsome. Yi Zian laughed. Didn't someone say that his looks are average? Xiao Tun muttered with her small mouth and cunningly said, I never said that. Moreover, I'm not talking about his appearance. I'm talking about that temperament on his body. Yo, you are the same as senior sister. You can even see the kind of aura he has. Yi Zian smiled and said. Xiao Tian placed his hands on his waist and said, Senior sister Zian, don't think that you can bully me just because you have a big chest. Yi Zian looked at Lu Luoxi's chest and immediately said, Little girl, if you dare to sow discord, I won't let you see. Xiao Tian immediately hid to Lu Luoxi's side and begged for help. Big senior sister, please save me. Lu Luoxi said with slight anger. Stop messing around. Let's go. Yi Zian asked, Where are you going? Isn't it supposed to be protecting Long Fei? Lu Luoxi said, Can you see Long Fei now? Xiao Tian looked around and realized that Long Fei was already gone. He immediately ran out and said, What are you waiting for? Why aren't you guys moving faster? Senior sisters, hurry up. If something happens to that bastard, how am I supposed to explain myself to my big cousin? Yi Zian laughed. Pavilion Master Fu isn't asking you to help. What do you want to explain? I think you're afraid that your lover will get hurt. He chasing and killing along the way. His experience points continue to rise. This feeling was too wonderful. At daybreak, not a single flame wolf remained out of the 300 or so, which were all killed by Long Fei. Their experience points had increased by nearly a level, and they still had more than 200,000 experience points before they could level up again. While he was leveling up, throughout the entire night, more than a dozen Long family disciples had been assassinated. Their methods were extremely cruel. Every one of the Long family disciples had their limbs cut off and their blood extracted. The death warrior of the Zhuge family, an assassin from the Nangong imperial clan. Nangong Lei's warriors. These disciples of the Long family were all elites of the Long family, and the Long family did not discover anything. Chapter 36, I'm going to be poisoned. Chapter 36, I'm going to be poisoned. The Fire Wolf Valley was filled with killing intent. The participating Long family disciples didn't notice at all. In another place, Young Master, we found Long Fei's location. Long Ao's expression shook, and he immediately became excited and said, Then what are we waiting for? Let Long Yong go. Amen. I've already told senior fellow apprentice Long Yong. He's already on his way. He should be able to catch Long Fei before noon. A Long family disciple said, All right. Long Ao was extremely happy. As long as you can capture Long Fei, you will all be rewarded. The Long family's disciples were assassinated, but no one noticed. But Long Zhanwu was desperately searching for someone to assassinate Long Fei. It would be strange if such a clan didn't perish under such leadership. Long Fei stood beside a Long family disciple whose tendons had been cut, squatted down, and examined him carefully. The blood essence has been sucked dry again. This is already the third corpse. Then he recalled how he was seriously injured by the mysterious person. If it wasn't for the appearance of the Grand Elder, his blood essence would have been sucked dry. Seems like it's not Long Zhanwu. Someone from another sect is invading this place. Long Fei's heart trembled. This was already the third time he had met a member of the Long family whose tendons and limbs had been cut off and whose blood essence had been sucked dry. The method was different. The techniques used were also different. From the various marks on the corpse, it seemed like it was not just an external force. Long Fei thought of the other 3 pillars of the Fireglass City and thought to himself, could it be them? At this moment, Long Fei, you actually dared to assassinate a disciple of the same clan, and your methods are so cruel. Today, I'm going to exterminate evil for the Long family. A voice sounded. His figure moved and instantly sealed Long Fei's escape route. Long Yong, level 1 war spirit ranker. Long Yong looked at the corpse on the ground. His eyebrows turned sinister as he asked, Long Fei, do you still have anything else to say? Long Fei stood up and said with a grin, I have nothing to say to you. Didn't you say you want to exterminate evil by punishing us? Come, there's no way to argue, right? Long Yong sneered. Then obediently kneel down and accept your death. Long Fei said, accept your death? Is this Long Zhanwu's goal? Long Fei sneered, and his footsteps suddenly started to move. Long Yong frowned and laughed. How dare you play with a mere war division realm in front of me? I'll let you know what is called the power of the war spirit. Both of his fists sank, and a series of popping sounds could be heard from his fists. A wave of dense war spirit chi was released. His fist moved, mountain-splitting fist. Huff! A whistling sound came out as his fist struck straight at Long Fei's head. Mountain-splitting fist was able to split mountains and shatter rocks. If this punch struck, Long Fei would definitely die. The first move he used was a killing move. If you want to put Long Fei to death, since that's the case, Long Fei revealed a cold smile and said, die. The wind shadow step was released. His body swayed and swayed. Before Long Yong's fist could land on the ground, Long Fei was already behind him. Long Yong punched nothing but air and turned to look. A figure rushed over, and before his defense could land on his chest, Kacha, his ribs were broken and his body was blown away. In that moment, a surge of true breath power entered his internal organs. Long Fei didn't even turn his head as he coldly snorted, strangle him. Crack! Long Yong spat out a large mouthful of black blood. His internal organs were completely twisted into mush, and his body swayed. As he looked at Long Fei, who was slowly walking further and further away, his face filled with disbelief. How could this be? He's obviously the War Division realm. How could this be? Bam! His body collapsed and died. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for killing Long Yong for gaining 1,500 experience, 70 true breath, and 10 energy values. Do you want to release striking attribute? No, it was just a waste for these small shrimps to release striking attribute. Striking attribute naturally had to be released on the boss body, as only then would he be able to get more good items. After Long Fei left, a black-clothed man landed from a big tree. Without making a sound, he checked Long Yong's injuries, his eyebrows slightly furrowed, and then disappeared. 1 hour later, Long Ao was incomparably furious. Useless trash, he actually killed you. Let Long Tai and Long Lin go. We must take him down for me. Seeing Long Yong's expression as though he had died with grievance, Long Ao kicked him and coldly snorted. Truly a piece of trash. Long Fei killing Long Yong seemed to be a small matter. However, the people of Three Pillars knew very quickly. The result was the same. Kill. This was because they were worried that Long Fei would recover the dragon god's blood essence. If that were to happen, the rise of this genius would be unstoppable, and he definitely wouldn't be able to live in this world. The Fire Wolf Valley became filled with killing intent. Beside a small stream, Long Fei got a wild rabbit, opened its stomach, and started roasting it. Xiaobai, do you want to try something? The idea moved, but surprisingly, Xiaobai did not have the slightest reaction. He was a big foodie, yet he did not continue to sleep peacefully despite facing the barbecue. Long Fei did not call him anymore. Ever since he had returned from the Fire Glass Mountain Range, Xiaobai had been sound asleep. Aside from the one time he woke up from his daze last night, he had not woken up at all. Long Fei had a feeling that Xiaobai was about to have a breakthrough. After eating the roast meat, Long Fei continued to look for beasts to level up. In the dark, goo-goo, gurgle-gurgle, gulp. The stomachs of the three women were growling. Xiao Tian kept swallowing his saliva, and when he smelled the fragrance of the roasted meat, he could not resist. What a fragrant barbecue. He's simply a bastard. Eldest senior sister, since we are so hungry to protect him, shouldn't we collect some interest? At the very least, you have to feed us. Xiao Tian said in annoyance. Long Fei's barbecue was deadly enticing to them. In the few days since they returned from the Fire Glass Mountain Range, they could not eat anything. Compared to Long Fei's barbecue, The food in the restaurants were like pig's food. Luluashi replied, "It's just a barbecue. We can roast ourselves too." Zian, go slaughter a demon beast. I don't believe it. Xiao Tiantian volunteered. I'll go find firewood. Half an hour later, a demonic beast was placed on the fire rack to roast it. However, not even 10 minutes later, a burnt smell wafted out. Luluashi immediately took down the roast meat and said, Come, let's have a taste first. It's definitely not worse than that bastard's roast meat." Xiao Tiantian couldn't wait and tore off a piece of the roasted meat. He discovered that there were still traces of blood below the meat, but because he was too hungry, he couldn't care less about it. "Senior sister, what is this?" Yi Zian also tore off a piece and ate it. After eating a few bites, her face turned purple, clutching her chest, and said, "I can't do it. I'm going to be poisoned." Luluashi glared at them. "Is it that bad?" He tore off a piece and bit at it a few times. His face was pale as he spat it out. "It's also a piece of barbecue. Why is the difference so huge?" This was bullying. Chapter 37, Advanced Profound Rippling Steps. Chapter 37, Advanced Profound Rippling Steps. In the distance, Long Fei almost burst out laughing. Since last night, he had sensed that someone was following him. At first, he thought it was Long Zhanwu's men, but there were several times when he pretended to be injured and didn't take advantage of the situation to enter. Seeing that it was the three sisters of the Heaven sect, he was a little shocked. "Why are they here as well? Why are you following me? Is it because I am too handsome, too domineering, and have already made them so madly in love with me?" Long Fei laughed smugly, placing the remaining half of the rabbit on the ground. She turned and shouted, "Animal, I want to see where you can run to." Luluashi and the other two were shocked. "There's a situation." Xiao Tiantian had no strength left in his body. He hated Long Fei to death and said, "I haven't eaten anything for a whole day and night, and yet you want me to run away. If he falls into my hands next time." Without waiting for her to finish, Yi Zian smiled and said, "It's only a piece of meat. You said it countless times. When can you move?" "Wrong," Xiao Tiantian said angrily. "I will cut him into 9 pieces and give 1 piece to you, senior sister. Stop talking. Hurry up and catch up with us. Don't forget our mission." Luluashi was extremely fast, and in the blink of an eye, he had caught up. When he reached the hillside, he discovered that Long Fei was no longer there. "Senior sister, I'm so hungry," Xiao Tiantian said weakly. Following that, a burst of fragrance entered his nose. "What smell is this?" "The smell of barbecue." "Senior sister, there's half a roasted hare here." Xiao Tiantian's nose was of a dog's. It must have been the bastard. What a waste. Xiao Tiantian tore off a rabbit leg and took a bite, his entire body immediately filled with power. "It's too delicious." Luluashi frowned. He secretly thought, has he been discovered? Everything was normal during the day. There were also very few demon beasts, but Long Fei did not let go of any of them. Night fell. The forest became dark, and wolf howls broke the silence. At the same time, the various powers in the forest also began to move. That night, Long Fei did not continue to kill firewolves. Instead, he carefully hid himself, wanting to see who exactly was assassinating the disciples of the Long family. Long Zhanwu eliminated others? Or was it the power of the Fireglass City? An hour later, from not too far away, the sound of hurried footsteps could be heard. "Who the hell are you?" Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Asterisk, the sound of several quick shuttles sounded. "Big Brother Long Shan, run." Ah. 3 blood-curdling screams rang out. There was still one more person frantically escaping, and he was getting closer and closer to Long Fei. Long Fei quietly waited. Bam! Long Shan tripped on the ground, and at the same time, 3 black shadows fell from the sky and surrounded him. One of the men in black sneered, run again. Let's see where you can run to." The long spear in Long Shan's hand shook as he coldly snorted and said, "Who the hell are you? If he couldn't escape, then let's fight." The man in black sneered. He's the one who wants your life. Then let's see what you can do. Longshan suddenly moved. With a thrust of his spear, a spear flower appeared. He leaped into the air and landed on the ground. Suddenly, he turned his spear, returning spear. The spear suddenly pierced a black-clothed man behind him. The black-clothed man did not have any defense at all as he faced it head-on. Pucci, a spear pierced through Black Robe's left shoulder, but the black-clothed man stabbed towards the center of Longshan's eyebrows. Longshan had no choice but to give up his spear and quickly dodge. Then, the other two men in black wielded their swords. One of them stabbed into Longshan's left and right shoulders, directly nailing him to a big tree. Master said that we can't let go of any of the Long family disciples' blood essence. While they were talking, each of them took out a special bottle. Longshan's face was pale from the pain, but he didn't let out a single cry of pain. Instead, he said coldly, "A death soldier from the divine marquis of Zhuge." That shot just now was indeed very clever, but with the cultivation of the man in black, he could easily dodge it. However, he did not. Thus, Longshan thought of the death soldier the Zhuge family had secretly trained. The three of them shivered slightly. Longshan confirmed their identities with their eyes. They're the death warriors of the Zhuge family indeed. The assassination of our young master last time was also done by you, the Marquis of Zhuge, right? So what if we know our identities? Don't worry. After you die, we'll send your young lord down to accompany you. And then, a black-clothed man took out a dagger and cut at Longshan's meridian. At this moment, the top-quality sword Teeth Tiger talisman shot out. A water attribute sword Teeth Tiger rushed out and instantly threw the black-clothed man onto the ground. It opened its bloody mouth and bit off the person's neck. Ding! Congratulations to player Longfei for killing Death Soldier Zhuge for obtaining 2,300 experience, 120 true breath, and 10 energy values. As expected, Longfei's heart trembled. The other two death soldiers immediately turned, and seeing Longfei walking out from the darkness, the two of them looked at each other and immediately rushed forward. Longshan was secretly shocked and immediately said, "Young master, quickly run. They are all war spirit realm experts. You are not their match." Ever since the last time Longfei had knocked him out in one move, Longshan had once again admitted in his heart that Longfei was the young master of the Long family. This was the world. Strength was respected, not to mention that Longshan was a soldier. His worship of strength was stronger than anyone else's. Longfei coldly said, "When has the Long family ever run away before?" Longshan's heart sank. This sentence stung him, but it made him even more certain of Longfei's capabilities. He exerted force in his arms, wanting to pull the sword out from his shoulder. Longfei said slightly, "Don't move. Longfei, you came out to seek death yourself. Attack." The two men in black attacked from the left and right. Their movements were like ghosts. The aura of the war spirit was released, and a strong power continued to crush Longfei. They were completely different from Long Yong. They were the warriors of the Zhuge family. They would not show the slightest mercy when they fought, nor did they care about their own lives. They only had one goal in life: kill their target, complete their mission, and pay any price. Longfei did not dare to be careless. He took out his desolate blade and used Wind Shadow Step. Open the skin. As the blade slashed down, the black-clothed man didn't dodge at all. Instead, he stabbed forward with his sword. Longfei's feet moved like the wind. The shadow moved, barely dodging a sword attack. In his heart, he thought, a desperate way to fight? It was also at this moment that the sound of rapid footsteps came from the mountain slope and truly charged at him. Longfei locked his eyebrows. "I can't stay for long. Since you like to fight for your lives, then let's quickly finish you off." Longfei did not want to continue battling, and the longer it dragged on, the worse it was for him. How many more death warriors were left in Firewolf Valley? Suddenly, Longfei bellowed. Wind Shadow Step, Second Realm, ripple tiny steps. Buzz! A wave of true breath was released from his body. The true breath activated its cultivation technique, and Long Fei had been cultivating the wind shadow step every day for the past few days. He had already leveled up to the second realm, the profound rippling steps. He increased his speed. Not only his speed, Long Fei's speed of attack also increased. Shua, tendon break, break the bones, slay, die. Before the accumulated blade energy could be released, the two black, clothed men died miserably under Long Fei's blade. Because it was too fast, even if they were in the war spirit realm, they could not keep up and were completely slaughtered by Long Fei. Ding, ding. Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, 9 Battle Master. Long Shan was stupefied. Compared to a month ago, Long Fei's rise was just too fast. Chapter 38, Boss Appear. Chapter 38. Boss Appear. He saved Long Shan and gave him a highest grade medicine powder. Long Shan was so moved that he couldn't even speak. Young Lord, I was in the wrong in the past. From today onwards, my Long Shan's life is yours. Young Master, you're too strong. Young Lord. Long Fei glared at him and said, Can you shut up? Long Shan immediately shut his mouth. Long Fei said, Now listen to me. Hide in the hollow of the tree and don't let anyone find out. This is a healing pill. If you take another pill in 4 hours, all the wounds on your body will be healed. Long Shan replied, Many thanks, young master, but young master, where do you want to go? According to my speculations, not only are there death warriors from the Zhuge family, there are also warriors from the Li martial arts sect, Nangong Lei's men, and there are also people from the Nangong Imperial clan that had secretly sent them. The Fire Wolf Valley is too dangerous. Long Ao has also sent people to search for you, to kill you. The night was too dangerous. Demonic beasts and killers were destined to be a feast of assassination. As expected, Long Fei's heart trembled and said, Since everyone wants my life, then let's see who wants whose life. And then, Long Fei began to move quickly. Elder, we lost contact with the 3 warriors. They must have fallen. Zhuge Wei frowned and said in a low voice, Find out who did it? No, trash. Zhuge Wei harumphed coldly and said, The Dragon God warriors are definitely still alive. Kill them all for me. Kill all the disciples of the Long family. Don't let anyone leave here alive. Yes, sir. Li martial arts sect also received the news that the death warrior of the Zhuge family was killed. Li Tianfeng asked, Did Long Zhanwu discover something? No. From the beginning till the end, Long Zhanwu did not send anyone into the Fire Wolf Valley. He did not seem to care about what was happening in the Fire Wolf Valley at all. Li Tianfeng said, I understand. Let's follow our original plan and continue to kill. Nangong Lei was secretly shocked. Are there any disciples that can kill Zhuge, the death soldiers? An old man replied, Reporting to your highness, the strongest disciple in the Long family examination is at the 5th level of the war spirit. This kind of strength might kill one person, but killing 3 at the same time is simply impossible. Nangong Lei muttered, Could it be the Dragon God warriors? The old man was silent. And then Nangong Lei sneered and said, No matter who it is, this batch of Long family disciples all died in Fire Wolf Valley. Send my order. Let Gue Shou take action. The old man immediately nodded and said, The 5-level monster is already prepared. Once you enter the Fire Wolf Valley, you'll be furious. At that time, not a single one of the Long family disciples will be able to survive, and all the death warriors of Zhuge family and the warriors of Li martial arts sect will all die. Nangong Lei laughed sinisterly and said, We can definitely heavily injure them this time. Who would have thought that I, Nangong Lei, would have a Beastmaster stage expert? Ha ha. The night was so quiet that it was terrifying. Suddenly, a black shadow flashed past. A Long family disciple walked out of the cave and suddenly shouted, Who is it? It was also at this moment. The 4 Li martial arts sects who rushed out were all elite warriors of the war spirit realm. He moved at full power. Roar! A talisman exploded, and a sword-teeth tiger rushed out. It directly pushed a warrior to the ground and bit off his neck. Instant kill. Ding! The system sounded out. Soon after, a ghost-like man wielded a saber and hacked down. His blade technique was incomparably fierce. Open the skin. Chua! Broken tendons, broken bones, whoosh whoosh. Asterisk, the combination of dragon salure technique and ripple tiny steps was perfect and invulnerable. After a few consecutive slashes, the remaining 3 were killed. The Long family disciples who were standing at the entrance of the cave were shocked. Looking at the dim Long Fei, they asked, "Who are you?" Long Fei said, "Members of the Long family." And then he disappeared in the blink of an eye. A Long family disciple cried out in pain. Long Fei's eyes darkened and rushed forward with all his strength. No matter what Long Zhanwu wanted to do to him, he always remembered one thing. He was a member of the Long family. The Long family's eldest son was the person who treated him the best in the world. The Long family was his hard work. He couldn't let the external forces kill the Long family's disciples so easily. Absolutely not. In addition, killing was so much better than killing firewolves. He had plenty of experience and could drop some items. Although these items were trash, they could still be exchanged for points. Then there was the possibility of obtaining energy values. Long Fei spent the entire night assassinating the people of 3 pillars. Li Tianfeng and Zhuge Wei's hearts chilled. There were constant reports of death. They even felt that this was an assassination from the Long family. He was a little confused. Moreover, most importantly, they did not even know who killed him. More and more disciples of the Long family were saved, and they too did not know who it was. Long Fei only left behind one sentence each time: members of the Long family. This caused the Long family disciples to feel warm in their hearts. The disciples of the Long family quickly gathered together. This way, it would be difficult for the death soldiers of the Zhuge family and the warriors of the Li family to assassinate him. Long Ao flew into a rage. "You two are trash. If you can't even find them, what's the use in raising you two?" Long Tai and Long Lin lowered their heads in silence. Long Ao frowned and said, "Since you can't find it, then hunt all the monsters here. You must get first place in the first round of the examination." "Yes, sir." This was what Long Zhanwu had instructed him to do. If he was still unable to deal with Long Fei on the second night, then there would be no need for him to act anymore. In the end, even Long Ao did not know who it was. However, Long Ao believed that Long Fei would definitely not be able to survive. Long Fei, just you wait. A night of killing. Long Fei couldn't remember how many people he killed, but he couldn't remember who those black-robed death soldiers were anymore. Early morning, he squatted down by the stream and washed his face, checking everything except for the pills. His points had now reached 800. I still need 200 more points to exchange for a demonic cultivator. Suddenly, on the other side of the hill, there was a loud noise. Rumble, rumble. The earth shook and the mountains shook. The towering trees were uprooted, the broken mountains crumbled, and in less than half a minute, they rushed into Firewolf Valley. Demonic beast. 5-level monster. The 5-level monster has rushed into the Firewolf Valley. Everyone run. The 5-level monster is here, run. The disciples of the Long family frantically fled. The more they ran, the more crazily the mountain-like demonic beast chased. Its 2 palms swept out, grabbing a towering tree and ferociously throwing it out. Rumble. A few of the Long family disciples were overturned. They usually hid deep within the Fireglass mountain range, so they would not appear outside the mountain range. Adding to this berserk mode, Long Fei's heart tightened. Beast Master. Immediately, Long Fei rushed out and rushed to the hillside. Looking ahead, his eyes opened wide and he laughed excitedly. Boss! Chapter 39, I'm gonna kill it. Chapter 39, I'm gonna kill it, boss. It was a boss that was glowing with a golden light. Although it was not as strong as the golden light emitted by the level 9 Flood Dragon and the White Wolf King, it was still a boss that radiated golden light. How could he not kill a boss? Then what the heck are you doing? In the game, Long Fei would definitely not let any of the bosses go. Even if he could not kill the boss, he would have to give it a try. It had been half a year since they last met a boss. How could they give up so easily? Long Fei immediately shouted out, "I'm coming." At this moment, a flash of cold light appeared, locking his entire body in place. This feeling was like a crushing pressure. Killing intent. An incredibly strong killing intent. Long Fei's mind became sinister, rippling light steps. His footsteps floated about, and his figure constantly changed as he increased his speed with all his might. It's useless. Chua. As he thrust out his sword, layers upon layers of sword images appeared. The sword beams seemed to have locked onto the back of Long Fei's head. No matter how he changed his position, they closely followed behind him. Long Fei bellowed, "You three are still not making your move?" Lu Luoxi moved, floating like an immortal, her long sword transforming into 108 sword flowers, each sword striking towards the tight uniformed killer. Xiao Tiantian said angrily, "After waiting for you for 3 days, I am finally willing to make my move." He released his aura. A strong sword intent was released, and it wrapped around the dagger. Yi Xian's sword art moved as she shouted, "Break!" Her body released a burst of sword qi, which rushed towards the sword qi behind Xiang Longfei and completely destroyed the assassin's sword qi. Boom! 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 The three sisters of the Sky sect landed and surrounded the killer. Long Fei gasped for breath like a cow, cold sweat trickling down his back. Looking at the tight uniformed woman whose body was extremely hot, he asked, "Damn, do I owe you money, or did I just molest you? Do you need to go all out like that? She's so beautiful, yet she's so ruthless." Xiao Tiantian said, "She's a killer at Failure Alliance. In their eyes, she's only a target, nothing more." Failure Alliance? Long Fei trembled slightly and said, "I don't have a sinful Failure Alliance, right? Who was it that wanted to kill me? They actually invited a killer. Fortunately, there were 3 sisters from the Heaven sect, otherwise they would have been screwed today. However, speaking of which, the strength of the 3 Heaven sect sisters wasn't just for show." Lu Luoxi said indifferently, "It's your Long family's great elder, Long Zhanwu." Long Fei squinted his eyes as he clenched his fists tightly and thought to himself, "Long Zhanwu, are you using this to deal with me? Damn, using the Long family's money isn't going to be easy on you." Long Fei was very unhappy in his heart. "Long Zhanwu, how much hatred do you have for me? I'll be damned, your sister. It's not enough to send the disciples of the Long family to kill you, but you still have to hire assassins." Lu Luoxi asked, "What about her?" Long Fei looked at the female assassin whose face was covered with a veil with great interest, and said, "I'll give you a chance to live. Help me kill Long Zhanwu." The female assassin coldly snorted, "Humph." Lu Luoxi said, "Once the deal is completed, it will not be changed. This is Failure Alliance's rule for killing people." Long Fei said, "Does that mean I will definitely be killed?" Xiao Tiantian said, "Theoretically, yes, but with the protection of us 3 sisters, you can rest assured." Yi Xian did not forget to bicker and said, "Little junior sister apprentice, we did not say we would protect him. Anyway, this is your lover. You can protect him by yourself." Xiao Tiantian's face reddened and retorted, "Senior sister, you're the one who said you want to marry him. How can you not protect your future husband? What's going on?" Long Fei was a little confused. It was also at this time. Rumble. That demonic beast was still in a rage and was already charging in their direction. And it was also at this moment that Lu Luoxi and the other 2 were distracted. The killer suddenly moved and jumped onto a tree, turned into a flash, and disappeared. A playful voice came from afar. "Long Fei, I will come again. You want to leave?" "No way." Xiao Tiantian wanted to rush out, but Lu Luoxi immediately shouted out, "Stop chasing. We can't catch up anymore. Let's go." When she was speaking, Long Fei had already rushed out. Towards killers, he was more concerned about the boss. Since the killer already said it, she will come back. There was no need to be hasty anymore. However, the boss could not be let off. Lu Luoshi said anxiously. Long Fei, where are you going? Do you want to die? Senior sister, what should we do? Yi Zian frowned. Xiao Tiantian had already followed him and said, what else can we do? Aren't we here to protect him? Senior sister, what are you all standing around for? Hurry up! Rumble! Rumble! The entire valley shook violently. Long Fei rushed to the bottom of the mountain and checked the attributes of the beasts through the system. Beast, large power King Kong ape level. Level 5 peak skills. Rumbling mountain palm defense. 5 stars attack power. 5 stars description. Large power King Kong ape S are naturally blessed with godly strength and possess an unparalleled amount of power. TL OMG description 2. Currently in rampage state. Attack, speed plus 20%, defense plus 20%. Kill anyone you see. Holy SH asterisk T. The strong ones explode. The stronger you are, the more items you will drop. Ha ha ha. We must kill it. Long Fei's blood was boiling, but when he saw the HP on top of the large power King Kong ape's head, he immediately cursed in his heart. 500,000 HP, your sister. Long Fei, run. The demonic beast is going crazy. At this moment, the 3 sisters of the sky sect rushed over. Roar! Suddenly, the large power King Kong ape caught a disciple of the Long family who was hiding inside a tree hole. Lifting him up in the air, it directly tore his body into 2 halves, and fresh blood poured down. Roar! The large power King Kong ape's fists hammered on its chest, becoming even more furious. What are you doing? Stop! What are you trying to do? Lu Luoshi called out to Long Fei. Xiao Tiantan also anxiously said, come back quickly. We can't move any further. Yi Zian also anxiously said, you're courting death. He was completely unable to understand Long Fei. Even the strong experts of the War Chief realm were not a match for it. Long Fei was only a War Division realm cultivator. He was simply courting death. Roar! The large power King Kong ape roared again as it grabbed an enormous tree and smashed it down, turning a few of the Long family disciples who were hiding behind the rocks into meat paste. Dozens of Long clan disciples had died in the valley. Adding the Long family's disciples who had been assassinated in the past 2 days, the Long family had lost nearly 2/3 of their disciples in this time's family exam. Seeing the large power King Kong ape being incomparably arrogant, overbearing, and furious, Long Fei was exceptionally unhappy. 3 pillars bullies the Long family, and a beast is coming to bully us. Do you really think our Long family is so easy to bully? Long Fei's gaze tensed up. He turned around and grinned at the 3 sisters. I want to kill it. Chapter 40. Are you crazy? Chapter 40. Are you crazy? Fireglass City, Long family. A disciple anxiously ran into Long Zhanwu's courtyard. Long Zhanwu was practicing his martial arts leisurely in the courtyard. He was disturbed and looked displeased. What happened? Why are you in such a hurry? Great Clan Elder, not good. A 5-level monster rushed in from the Firewolf Valley, massacring crazily. Countless disciples of the Long family have died. Long Zhanya also hurriedly entered, and just as he was about to report this matter, he asked, Big brother, what do we do? He whispered into Long Zhanwu's ears. Not only the 5-level monster, the Death Warriors of the Zhuge family, the warriors of the Li martial arts sect, and the people from the Nangong Imperial clan have all entered the Firewolf Valley. Long Zhanwu calmly wiped the sword in his hand and asked softly, Where is Long Fei, that trash? Did you get rid of it? The first thing he cared about was not the life and death of the disciples of the Long family, but whether Long Fei had died or not. Long Zhanya sunk, gently shook his head, and said, Not yet. Long Zhanwu's eyes turned sinister, The sword in his hand suddenly erupted with a myriad of sword chi. With one slash, a plum blossom tree more than 10 meters away directly exploded, breaking into over 10,000 pieces. Long Zhanya's eyes widened as he said in pleasant surprise, "Big brother, you succeeded." Without waiting for him to finish speaking, Long Zhanwu shouted in a deep voice, "If you can't even take care of a small piece of trash, what are you doing?" Killer at Failure Alliance did not make his move? Long Zhanya's expression changed, and he said, "Fire Wolf Valley's current situation is extremely complicated. I'm not sure whether or not I'll be able to kill them." The Fire Wolf Valley was in a mess now. Long Zhanya said again, "Big brother, Long AO is still inside. If he gets hurt, we should rush over right now. This assessment is over early." "No way," Long Zhanwu interrupted. "The assessment is just an assessment. It cannot be ended early. As for the 5-level monster entering Fire Wolf Valley, that is a test for the disciples of the Long family." Long Zhanya was dumbstruck and said, "Big brother, those are the elites of the Long family. They are—" "Don't say any more," Long Zhanwu bellowed. "Since it's an elite, then it should have the appearance of an elite. Otherwise, it's nothing. Also, Long Fei did not die. He must die. Even if it means taking the lives of all the disciples of the Long family, we must make him die in Fire Wolf Valley. As for Aoer, there is someone by his side who will protect him." Long Zhanwu's goal was very simple. If they wanted Long Fei to die in Fire Wolf Valley, they would not hesitate to bury him along with hundreds of other disciples of the Long family. Even Long Zhanya was frightened. These 100 over elite warriors of the Long family were related to the foundation of the Long family. If they all died, it would be more serious than losing a Dragon God warrior. Long Zhanya felt a chill in his heart. For the sake of his position, for the sake of becoming the Long family's patriarch, Long Zhanwu had gone crazy. The Long family did not send anyone into the Fire Wolf Valley. Furthermore, without even announcing the conclusion of the examination, the disciples of the Long family were left to fend for themselves in Fire Wolf Valley. This was something that no one had expected. Even Zhuge Wei and Li Tianfeng didn't expect this. However, Long Zhanwu did not send anyone to protect the disciples of the Long family. They were even more happy and immediately passed down the order to everyone in the Fire Wolf Valley to retreat. The Long family is finished. These elites will all die in the Fire Wolf Valley. Without these elites, the Long family will be in a state of disarray, and at that time, it won't be long before there's no more Long family in Fireglass City. Zhuge Wei was laughing, Li Tianfeng was laughing, Nangong Lei was laughing extremely happily, and the Nangong Imperial family was also very satisfied. At the same time, they were also quickly evacuating. He couldn't leave any clues for the Long family. To them, although they had lost a group of elites, but with the deaths of over 100 of the Long family's elite disciples, their profits were just too great. A few hours later, the retreat of the Three Pillars' family was done without a sound and did not leave any trace. All that was left in Fire Wolf Valley was the fleeing disciples of the Long family. At this moment, the Long family's conviction was shaken in their hearts. And then there was Long Fei. Long Fei quickly got closer, found the chance, and heavily jumped. He tightly grabbed onto his desolate blade and used Dragon Salyer technique, hacking down, slicing the skin. It struck onto the back of the large power King Kong ape. Poochie. 2. A damage rose up, so low that it caused one's hair to stand on end. Holy sh**t. Long Fei cursed. It was also at this time. The large power King Kong ape flipped over and struck down with its palm. Bang. "Be careful," Lu Luoshi suddenly shouted out. Long Fei's body fell down heavily like a kite with its string broken. Boom! After smashing onto the ground, a deep crater appeared. Long Fei quickly swallowed a highest-grade medicine powder as his internal organs felt as if they were going to shatter. The injuries in his body stabilized slightly. Long Fei pushed himself off the ground with his long blade and struggled to get up, cursing, "Damn it, that's a little too strong, isn't it?" When the large power King Kong ape saw that Long Fei did not die, it looked like it had been humiliated. Mountain hit fist. Long Fei's expression changed, rippled tiny steps. He was bursting out with all his strength. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The earth quaked, and the mountains shook. It was as if the earth was being split open. The rocks turned into dust, and dust filled the sky. Long Fei, Long Fei, Long Fei. The three girls shouted out Long Fei's name at the same time. That fist. I'm afraid there is no hope of survival. Cough, cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Don't worry, I'm not dead yet. Long Fei was slightly touched in his heart. It was great to have someone to worry about. That punch just now was too terrifying. He nearly peed his pants. Boom. After losing Long Fei's figure in the dust, the large power King Kong ape locked onto Lu Luoshi and the other two. With a heavy shake of its feet, it roared towards the sky. Roar. The sound waves could shake the sky and disturb one's mind. It was like the suppression of a cultivator in his realm. The three women's expressions were dull as they stood there motionlessly. The large power King Kong ape once again used both hands to punch, striking towards Lu Luoshi. Long Fei's eyes turned sinister. Your ancestors dared to touch my Long Fei's woman. You're tired of living. At this moment, Long Fei couldn't care so much anymore. He lowered his body and spread out his limbs. Caw! The big toad made a strange noise. Then the idea moved. Activate all true breath S. 1,800 true breath were completely released. This was all of his true breath, and he used it all on the toading skill. With a heavy bounce, he struck out fiercely. Whoosh! Boom! The big toad Long Fei crashed into the large power King Kong ape's chest, causing 1,800 true breath to rush into its body. Rumble! The large power King Kong ape's body slightly trembled. Her steps were a little unsteady, and she staggered a few steps back. The mountain hit fist was also interrupted. Crack! A bright red number appeared above its head. 8,090. A damage of 8,000 points. 2. Abnormal. 1,800 true breath S can cause that much damage. Damn you. Long Fei felt cold in his heart. This fellow was too abnormal. Raising his head to swallow a true breath pill. True breath could recover 500 points in 3 seconds, but it was no longer useful in a short period of time. Long Fei quickly rushed to Lu Luoshi's side and looked at the three of them. Xiao Tiantian's face flushed red as she asked shyly, "What did you say just now?" Lu Luoshi and Yi Zian were also looking at Long Fei. "Just now? I said run." Long Fei said. Xiao Tiantian fiddled with the corner of his clothes, his face even redder, and said, "It's not this one. It's the previous one." Last sentence. Long Fei thought for a moment, then said, "Your sister." Xiao Tiantian's expression immediately changed, and he immediately shouted in fury, your sister, your entire family's sister. Are you crazy?" Long Tian was completely confused. Chapter 41, Master, I Have a Way. Chapter 41, Master, I Have a Way. The defense of the large power King Kong ape was just too abnormal. Even if he used all his true breath, he could only deal 8,000 points of damage. It was impossible for them to fight head-on. Long Fei made his decision and said, "Get out of its attack range. You must not let it be injured by the sound wave again." Lu Luoshi was also aware of the seriousness of the situation and said to the two junior sister apprentices, "Quickly retreat." The three girls retreated first. Long Fei stayed behind and thought, should we take out the Dragon Salure S? Dragon Salure S were supreme artifact S, so breaking through the defense of large power King Kong Ape S was very easy. Once the Dragon Salure was found, he would also be in danger. Let's wait first. In the end, Long Fei still decided to slow down, unless it was absolutely necessary. He did not want to use this trump card. Top quality sword Teeth Tiger spell note. Go. A talisman exploded outwards, smashing straight into the large power King Kong ape's face. The gigantic illusion sword Teeth Tiger heavily bit down, causing thousands of damage. However, it was only a talisman, not a 5-level monster. The large power King Kong ape tore it apart. He couldn't block it. The large power King Kong ape was getting closer. What should we do? If we continue to run away like this, we'll die of exhaustion, Lu Luoxi said to Long Fei. Xiao Tiantian was still angry and said angrily, "It's all that bastard's fault." Yi Zian said, "Little junior sister apprentice, don't blame anyone else at this time." Suddenly, from the war pet space said, all of a sudden, "Master, lure it into the depths of the valley." Long Fei was secretly surprised. "Xiao Bai, do you have a way?" And, "All right." And then, Long Fei said loudly, "You guys run out of the valley. I'll go the other way, and you'll be safe. I'll find a chance to throw it away. Remember, do not follow me." Finished. Without waiting for Lu Luoxi and the others to reply, he immediately rushed towards the large power King Kong ape, swallowed a true breath pill, and loudly said, "Grandson, grandfather is here to kill grandfather." He released another set of sword teeth tiger talismans. Boom! The large power King Kong ape was even more furious. It roared towards the sky and fiercely slapped Xiang Longfei with its palm. A towering tree had been cut in half from the waist, splinters flying everywhere as it shot out like flying daggers. Pucci, Long Fei's body sunk. His back was struck by a piece of wood, causing blood to flow out. He did not dare hesitate at all and shouted at the dazed Lu Luoxi, "Run! What are you standing there for, run?" He also ran towards the direction of the valley. Awoo! Awoo! The large power King Kong ape was furious beyond compare. Its forelimbs dropped to the ground, and with a violent push, it immediately flew into the air. It was like a black cloud pressing down on a city. Long Fei turned to look. What the F asterisk asterisk K? Tiny rippling steps. Turning his speed, he activated True Breath, increasing his speed in all aspects. Rumble! The large power King Kong ape's body pressed down. Dust flew all over, and a huge pit appeared around it, which was a mess. Long Fei leaned on a rock and panted heavily. Damn, this is too abnormal. The large power King Kong ape was still in a berserk state, increasing all of its attributes. After adjusting himself for a few seconds, Long Fei rushed out again and shouted loudly, "Grandson, grandfather isn't dead yet." Awoo! The large power King Kong ape once again fiercely pounced forward. "Senior sister, what should we do? Are we just going to watch?" Yi Zian said anxiously. Large power King Kong ape were too strong. Even they were not a match for him. Xiao Tiantian was also worried. "Big senior, didn't we come to protect him? He is not a match for the large power King Kong ape at all. Let's hurry up and help him." Lu Luoxi frowned. He stopped Xiao Tiantian and said calmly, "He must have his reasons for doing this. Let's quickly leave." "Senior sister, eldest senior sister." The two girls looked at Lu Luoxi in shock. Lu Luoxi was annoyed. "Don't I want to save him? Do you think so? But you all have seen the power of the large power King Kong ape. Do you think we were its match in the past? Long Fei chose to sacrifice himself to protect us. Don't you see? If we go over there, it will only distract him and cause him trouble. We might even get 3 more corpses." When Long Fei made his decision, Lu Luoxi already knew what he was going to do, and his heart started aching. No man had ever done it for her. Protect her with your life. It was the same time in the cave, but it was the same again. Although Lu Luoxi looked neither cold nor hot on the surface, she was actually kind and had been moved by Long Fei a long time ago. If a man was willing to give his life for you, he could entrust it to his lifetime. If he could die for you twice, that was a blessing from his previous life. Moreover, Lu Luoxi also made her own decision. Xiao Tiantian said with a slightly trembling voice, "Senior sister, will he die?" Lu Luoxi did not answer. Instead, he pulled the 2 junior sister apprentices and said, "Quickly, leave this place." The disciples of the Long family all rushed out of the valley. Long Fei grabbed onto the large power King Kong ape's hatred and escaped deeper into the valley. When time was up, he consumed a true pill and kept the true breath above 1,000 points. Long Fei was secretly glad that he had refined a large number of true pill. Otherwise, he would not have been able to use true breath a long time ago. Xiao Bai, can you do it? Long Fei asked. Xiao Bai replied, further in. Ugh. Long Fei didn't know what Xiao Bai wanted to do, but since Xiao Bai had spoken, then he definitely had a way. Furthermore, after luring the large power king Kong ape deep into the valley, under the circumstances where there was no one around, he could take out the dragon Salyer and ruthlessly ravage it. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The entire Firewolf Valley was trembling as they moved further and further away from the disciples of the Long family. In the gathering place, it was Long Fei who lured the 5-level monster away. That piece of trash is dead for sure. Why would a 5-level monster appear in Firewolf Valley? Such a big thing happened. Why didn't the great clan elder send anyone in? And we're not allowed to go out. Does he want us to die inside? The crowd of Long clan disciples felt indignant in their hearts. The wounds on Long Shan's body had almost healed due to the highest grade medicine powder, and he said solemnly, if not for young Master Long Fei, we would all be dead here. We once looked down on him and called him trash. From today onwards, if anyone dares to call him trash in front of me, I, Long Shan, will fight with my life on the line. Everyone fell silent. Just like what Long Shan said, if Long Fei didn't lure away the large power king Kong ape, they would have all died in the valley. Long Ao was a little unhappy and asked, Long Shan, what benefits did Long Fei give you? He's actually speaking up for him like this. Trash will always be trash, and he's actually so stupid as to provoke 5-level monster. He's really a fool. Boom! Long Shan's aura suddenly moved. His spear moved, directly thrusting towards Long Ao, and said solemnly, because he is our savior, because he is the young master of the Long family. Who do you, Long Ao, think you are? Just as the spear was about to reach Long Ao was so scared that his entire body was trembling and he fell to the ground. He immediately ordered Long Tai and Long Lin and said, kill him, kill him. Stop fighting, stop fighting. Long Shan was also stopped. Many disciples of the Long family stood beside Long Shan and coldly stared at Long Tai and Long Lin. Neither of them dared to fight. Very clearly, Long Fei's position in their hearts had changed. Long Shan looked at the depths of the valley and muttered, young master, you must survive. Chapter 42, Dragon Salyer, come out. Chapter 42, Dragon Salyer, come out. The sound of explosions grew further and further away. Lu Luoshi and the other two escaped from the Firewolf Valley, saying, you are all familiar with the way back. Go look for Elder Xiao in the city now. Senior, what about you? Lu Luoshi said, I promise Pavilion Master Fu, I will definitely guarantee his safety. Even if I die, I will protect him. Senior sister, I'll go too. I'll go too. Lu Luoshi immediately shouted, are you listening to what Senior sister has to say? Hurry up and go. The cultivation of the two of you will only implicate me. My power can only take Long Fei away. If the two of you follow me, it will only implicate me. If you don't want to go back and find Clan Elder Xiao, then wait for me here. I will definitely bring Long Fei out. Senior sister, be good. Lu Luoshi frowned. Then her figure blurred, releasing her battle chi, quickly rushing into the forest. The safety belt Long Fei escaped from? She wasn't sure at all. However, for Long Fei to give up his life for her, she could as well. From morning until night, he immediately escaped from Firewolf Valley and entered the Fire Glass Mountain Range. At night, Long Fei could not take it anymore. He checked the pellets and only had a few left. He said, Xiao Bai, is it still not enough? Xiao Bai finally said, enough. Long Fei's entire body relaxed. If Xiao Bai still cannot say it, he would really go crazy. Suddenly, Xiao Bai jumped out of the war pet space, and after a few leaps, he arrived at the top of a withered tree. A wolf's howl resounded, spreading over a distance of thousands of kilometers. Next, The forest began to stir up, wolf howls came from afar, and the firewolves that had escaped from Firewolf Valley rushed back like madmen. Woo woo woo. Roar, roar, roar. There were more and more of them, slowly gathering into a pack of wolves, 1,000 of them. They all surrounded the dead tree trunk and raised their heads to look at Xiao Bai quietly. Their eyes were filled with respect and reverence, as if they were looking at their god. Even Long Fei and the other wolves did not take a glance. Long Fei was shocked and immediately thought of Xiao Bai's divine beast attribute, possessing the power of an unmatched wolf king, able to summon a herd of wolves and use them. Xiao Bai was the wolf god. So that's how it is. Long Fei was excited. Suddenly, Xiao Bai glared at the large power King Kong ape, and from his throat came a vicious roar. You dare to bully my boss, small ones. Bite it to death. He was incomparably domineering. Next, the 1,000 wolves roared together and started to rush towards the large power King Kong ape like a flood. Roar! Xiao Bai jumped to Long Fei's feet and said, Master, with my current strength, I can only summon a level 1 wolf demon. Long Fei watched as over 1,000 wolves tore apart the large power King Kong ape. The scene was simply too shocking and said, That's enough. Even if we can't kill it, we can't use up half of its blood. He heaved a sigh of relief. With the help of over 1,000 wolves, it would be much easier to deal with the large power King Kong ape. And then, Long Fei asked, Xiao Bai, can you help me sense if there are humans around? Xiao Bai's brows twitched, and after a moment of pause, he said, No. All right, it's good that no one is here. Long Fei looked at the dragon salure among the space ring and muttered in his heart, It's time for you to display your might. Rumble, rumble. The large power King Kong ape was furious. It swept its palms across and slapped each wolf down. Following that, another large group of wolves rushed forward. Its attack power was not high, but its quantity was great. For a moment, the large power King Kong ape could not do anything. Long Fei stood at a high place and laughed wildly. F***CK, you want to kill me? Come kill me. Come kill me. When the large power King Kong ape saw Long Fei's bloodshot eyes, it moved its palms and released Mountain Hit Fist. Rumble. With a violent shake, dozens of wolves' brains burst out from the shockwave. Next, the large power King Kong ape roared towards the sky and released a sonic wave attack. The hundreds of wolves around it were stunned senseless for a moment. So freaking abnormal. Long Fei was extremely shocked and furious for an entire day. To still be able to unleash such power, this large power King Kong ape was truly abnormal. And then, Long Fei said to Xiao Bai, Wait for my order. When I tell you to retreat, tell those wolves to retreat. Otherwise, you will harm them. Xiao Bai asked doubtfully, Boss, what are you planning to do? Haha, you'll know soon enough. Long Fei jumped down from the high ground as his body moved like lightning, continuously rushing towards the large power King Kong ape. The large power King Kong ape was also continuously looking at Long Fei's charge with a sweeping gaze as it charged forward. Xiao Bai said in a loud voice, Stop it, stop it. The group of wolves counterattacked. Suddenly, Long Fei's right hand moved. Dragon Salure, come out. As soon as his voice faded, the incomplete Dragon Salure landed in Long Fei's hands. Long Fei's arm sank as his speed obviously slowed down. The Dragon Salure was too heavy. Even if Long Fei was a level 9 battle master, he could only use 2 hands to pick it up, in a place called the Dragon Salure. As the long blade dragged on the ground, sparks flew along with lightning as Long Fei's arms fiercely moved and heavily leaped up. Dragon Salure technique. Open the skin. The Dragon Salure slashed down. Xiao Bai immediately roared, Don't let it move. Bam! The blade came down, striking the large power King Kong ape's chest, lacerating its skin and flesh. 29,800. It dealt nearly 30,000 points of damage. Ha! The Dragon Salure can even break the dragon's defense. How can a mere gorilla like you withstand it? The Dragon Salyer felt great. Combined with the Dragon Salyer technique, the damage was simply outrageous. Both of the large power King Kong ape's palms slapped onto Long Fei's body, causing Long Fei to heavily fall onto the ground. Tendon break. With the same wound, Long Fei slashed down once again. Pucci. 48,000 extremely high damage. Break the bones. Blood severing. Opening the spirit stunning, slay. One slash was stronger than another, and one slash was fiercer than the last. Every time he slashed out, Long Fei would feel as if all the energy in his body had been hollowed out and was unable to endure the powerful force being released. The 7 blades slashed out. The Dragon Salyer was trembling. The saber chi roared and released an aura of death. It was also at this time Long Fei suddenly shouted at Xiao Bai, "This is the moment!" Xiao Bai shouted at the same time, "Little ones, retreat." The pack of wolves quickly retreated, allowing the large power King Kong ape to regain its freedom. It was not looking at Xiang Long Fei, its eyes staring at the Dragon Salyer in Long Fei's hand, its body trembling. The large power King Kong ape was afraid. The 5-level monster was actually afraid. Suddenly, the large power King Kong ape suddenly turned and escaped. However, and it was also at this moment that Long Fei grinned sinisterly and laughed. "You want to escape? Let me see where you can flee to." Dragon Chop. Chua. Long Fei leaped into the air, and the Dragon Salyer slashed downwards. Like a hurricane, the blade energy struck the large power King Kong ape's body and sent it flying into the air with one slash. His hill-like body was actually sent flying. The scene was hard to imagine. In an instant, the saber chi raged as it slashed out crazily, continuously, and violently. 130 cuts. Explode for me. Chapter 43. It felt so good. Chapter 43. It felt so good. The 130-blade cheese shattered the large power King Kong ape that was blown into the air. Release the berserk energy. Ding! The system sounded out a wonderful prompt. Congratulations, player Long Fei, for obtaining 300,000 experience points when killing large power King Kong ape, 15,000 true breath, 1 energy values, 200 special reward. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining a level 5 wind attribute demonic core. Do you wish to fuse it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining large power King Kong ape blood essence. Congratulations to the player Long Fei for obtaining the large power King Kong ape sacred art, mountain hit fist. Do you wish to cultivate it? Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining King Kong shield. Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining one-shot kill of the magic power of right hand. Do you wish to fuse it? Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for leveling up. Current level, 1 War Spirit. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for receiving the special gift package upgrade reward. Would you like to check it? The system beep shook violently. Long Fei didn't quite understand what she meant. He just stood there and laughed dumbly. Too great, it's too great, it's too great. The striking attribute is way too amazing. I've never even played a game like this before. I love this thing so much. And then, Long Fei immediately checked the items that dropped. Wind Element Demon Core? This thing can wait and see. There's no hurry. Long Fei muttered, and then landed on the mountain hit fist. The large power King Kong ape's technique can even be broken through mountains. It hurts just thinking about how much her fist can do to my chrysanthemum. Cultivate. How could the demonic beast's sacred art not be cultivated? Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for training Mountain Hit Fist. Skill Path. Mountain Hit Fist Rank. Heaven Ranked Level 5. Divine Powers Proficiency. 0/3000 Consumption. 100 True Breath S Description. Breaking Mountain instantly killed a warrior of the War Spirit Realm with 1 punch. There's a 10% chance of triggering the divine ability of the large power King Kong ape. Good technique. Long Fei was excited, especially because of the 10% ability to trigger large power King Kong ape. Thinking of that scene, Long Fei became afraid. Next. Item. King Kong Shield Rank. First rank of Heaven Stage description. Able to block 80% of the War Spirit's attack. Able to defend against 20% of the War Chief's attacks. 10% chance of triggering the Diamond ability. Able to block 100% of the War Chief's attack damage. Wear it. I am currently lacking in defense. With this piece of armor, Long Zhongwu, let's see what you can do to me. Long Fei moved his idea and immediately put the King Kong shield on. Only he himself could feel it moving near his chest. Because it was a heavenly ranked spirit treasure, the King Kong shield hit it right away, so it was impossible to tell that Long Fei was wearing a heaven-ranked shield. Last item. One-hit kill of the magic power of right hand. What is that? Long Fei looked at the properties, the idea moved, and said secretly, Fusion. As soon as he finished, a drop of blood essence immediately rushed into Long Fei's right arm. And immediately after, Long Fei's right arm violently trembled as countless of large power King Kong ape roar sounded. As though they were filling the right arm with the profound energy of the large power King Kong ape, the rich energy climbed one after another, filling the entire right arm, from his fingers to his arm, from his blood vessels to his tendons, and even his every pore was being strengthened, and this was even with the strengthening of the first realm. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for merging with Magic Power of Right Hand. Magic Power of Right Hand, the source of large power King Kong Ape's divine power. Rank 1 strengthening completed. Concentrating strength for 3 minutes. Killing any martial artist below the 6th level of War Chief with a single strike, severely injuring the War Chief realm. Strengthening of the 2nd realm. Possessing the arms of large power King Kong Ape. What the F **** K? Too fierce, too strong, huh? Long Zhongwu, your good days are over, huh? Long Fei was grinning from ear to ear. Now, he no longer had to be afraid of Long Zhongwu. The feeling of being crushed by the War Chief was extremely uncomfortable. Long Fei's blood started to boil. Next, Long Fei looked at the special reward again. This was the system's reward for him. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for obtaining the special reward, Wushuang. Do you wish to cultivate it? What is it? None. Double. In that moment, Long Fei was dumbstruck. Her heart could not take it anymore. The attribute of Wushuang was something that she had learned in many games before. Magic immunity, attack increase, defense increase, and it will also get bigger. This skill was practically invincible. Immediately, Long Fei said in a trembling voice, Cultivate. Ding! Congratulations to player Long Fei for training Wushuang. Skill path, unparalleled grade, divine level proficiency, 0/8000 consumption, 100 true breath points per second, lasts for 1 minute. The higher the level, the longer the duration. Description, unparalleled activation, attack, speed, strength. All the attributes of the player were doubled. My heart. Long Fei staggered and pushed, leaning on the big tree behind him. His heart could not take it any longer. Too sudden, too fierce, too cool. I like it too much, huh? All his stats had been doubled. What was there to say? This was simply awesome. In the future, when Wushuang reaches the Great Perfection stage, he would kill gods and gods, kill Buddhas, and ascend to heaven. Who could stop him? A mere Long Zhongwu was nothing. 3 pillars, Nangong royal family. Just wash your butt and wait for me to explode one by one, huh? Long Fei was incomparably excited. This was because Wushuang's attributes were just too strong. It was just that. When Long Fei saw Wushuang's consumption of energy, his brows secretly tightened. 100 true breath per second. I can only maintain my current true breath for 20 seconds. This consumption energy is indeed a big problem, but 20 seconds is enough for me to kill the opponent. Hee. Long Fei was too excited. As a result, he didn't notice a person standing not too far away. Lu Luoshi. She flew all the way, worried about Long Fei with all her might, but when she rushed over, She just so happened to see Long Fei sweeping the large Power King Kong ape up into the air with one slash, and then killing it instantly with 130 layers of blade cheese. In that instant, Lu Luoxi looked at Long Fei in a daze, and was so shocked that he couldn't say a single word. A white shadow flashed past. The little pervert immediately threw himself into Lu Luoxi's embrace, then rubbed against Lu Luoxi's protruding twin peaks with all his might, his face full of satisfaction. It was also at this time Long Fei looked at Lu Luoxi, his expression startled for a moment, and then gently smiled. He scratched his head and said, "Didn't I tell you to leave? Why are you back?" Lu Luoxi asked in shock. "You sent us away just so that you could kill the large Power King Kong ape alone?" Long Fei laughed foolishly. "I'm not confident either. I can't possibly let you three sisters take the risk with me, right? Are you sure? 130 layers of saber chi killed a demon beast at the peak of the 5th level. Are you sure you can do this? Who are you lying to?" Lu Luoxi didn't believe Long Fei at all. It was also at this moment Lu Luoxi stared at the blade in Long Fei's hand. "What is that broken blade in your hand?" Chapter 44. Dry Wood Against Fire. Chapter 44. Dry wood against fire. He was still discovered. Long Fei did not continue to hide his identity, as he raised both of his hands heavily, and said, "This is my Long family's heirloom." Now, he had more cards in his hand. Right arm's divine power. And most importantly, Wu Shuang. With these two trump cards in hand, the dragon salure would be discovered sooner or later. Lu Luoxi's face froze as he said in shock, "Fireglass Dynasty's only supreme artifact? The dragon clan's ancestor refined the dragon god's blood into a dragon-slaying blade?" Long Fei nodded. "You sure know things quite well." Lu Luoxi said, "Who in Fireglass Dynasty doesn't know of this treasure blade? Even in my sect, it's like thunder piercing my ears. That's a supreme artifact. But I heard that a certain ancestor of the Long family died during the war with the evil demon at Fireglass Mountain Range. How did you find him?" Long Fei said, "Let's have a fortuitous encounter. You won't reveal the secret of the dragon's salure on me, right? It wouldn't hurt to tell. However, it would bring about unnecessary trouble." These few days had learnt that the three pillars had assassinated the Long family. Once the matter of the dragon salure was exposed, the three pillars and the Nangong imperial family would definitely make their move against the Long family. Lu Luoxi said in all seriousness, "Are you going to kill me to keep my mouth shut?" Long Fei was startled for a moment and said, "You're so beautiful. How could I bear to kill you? However, I hope that you can keep a secret from me." Pucci. Lu Luoxi could not hold back his laughter. When she was smiling, two shallow dimples appeared on her cheeks. Usually, she rarely smiled, but this time her smile was extremely intoxicating. Lu Luoxi pouted and said, "Is her smile as beautiful as little junior sister apprentices?" "Of course, better than any of them," Long Fei said in a serious tone. Lu Luoxi was usually serious, but suddenly he smiled. "Smooth talker." "Umph." Lu Luoxi playfully snorted and said, "It's fine for me to keep this a secret for you, but you have to promise me 3 things. She rarely displayed her innocent, girlish feelings in front of outsiders, but in front of Long Fei, she couldn't help but want to be a little girl. She didn't know why she felt this way herself. Long Fei asked, "Which 3? Lu Luoxi thought for a moment, then said, "First, I'm hungry. Hurry up and roast meat for me. I want to eat barbecue. Eat a lot of barbecue." It's that simple. Long Fei thought that making things difficult for him would be easy, so he immediately saluted and smiled. "I guarantee that I will complete the mission." Half an hour later, the fragrant roasted large Power King Kong ape meat would be fine. Lu Luoxi's mouth was filled with oil as she ate piece after piece. She had been following Long Fei around to eat barbecue these past few days, and her escarp was about to come out. After eating and drinking to his heart's content, Lu Luoxi's mind moved, and he said, "The second thing, I want to learn the talisman arts. I want you to teach me how to refine top-quality talismans. Your master will definitely teach you the trick." All right. Long Fei snickered in his heart. My master. Ha ha ha. If she knew that I was the one who invented the top-grade talisman technique, what would she think? And then, Long Fei said in all seriousness, refining top-quality talismans is extremely difficult. Lu Luoshi immediately said, I am not afraid of hardships. I just want to refine a high-quality talisman. I will give it to you. As he spoke till here, Lu Luoshi's expression turned cold, and he did not continue, but said, You just have to teach me. It seems like there's a story. Long Fei thought, and then said, We shall begin with drawing. They found a flat rock to use as a table. Long Fei said, Draw one first, I'll take a look. Lu Luoshi did not hesitate and immediately started drawing. Wrong. The moment Lu Luoshi finished writing, Long Fei shouted out, You haven't even finished adjusting the true breath. How can you infuse the true breath into your painting? First step, adjust your true breath well. Lu Luoshi was as obedient as a student as she listened to Long Fei. After adjusting her true breath, she started writing once again. And then, wrong, Long Fei shouted again and said, Have you thought about what kind of talisman to draw in your mind? Without even thinking about it properly, you started writing. How can you succeed? Adjust the true breath. The idea is fused. Lu Luoshi suddenly felt that the talisman techniques he had learned in the past were all trash. The talisman masters in the Heaven sect were also a bunch of trash. Following that, Lu Luoshi did it again. He drew a few strokes. Wrong, 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 sigh. Too stupid. Long Fei sighed and said, First, watch how I draw. Long Fei picked up the brush, and with a move of his forehead, it was stained with the blood of the large power King Kong ape. Immediately after, the idea sank, and its body unknowingly released a very strong qi, transforming into a dragon and serpent. Every stroke was perfect, constantly drawing, constantly perfecting, and combining the true breath and blood essence together, constantly drawing. Lu Luoshi stood at the side and watched Long Fei's serious expression. She was a little infatuated. Long Fei's serious look was really handsome. So handsome that she could not resist. All right, Long Fei was generous. Following that, the idea activated and released the talisman. Boom! The large power King Kong ape shot out and roared towards the sky. Lu Luoshi was so shocked that she couldn't speak. She looked at Long Fei pitifully and said, Teach me again. Sigh. I really can't do anything to you. Long Fei sighed and said, Hold on to the brush. Lu Luoshi held onto the pen. Long Fei stood behind her, and one of his hands held onto Lu Luoshi's hand. Her small hand trembled slightly. Long Fei shouted, Don't be distracted. Adjust your true breath. Fuse the idea. Long Fei held Lu Luoshi's hand and slowly drew step by step. A few minutes later, the talisman was completed, and it released the domineering aura of a 5-level monster. Again, again, again. Unknowingly, the two of them were almost hugging each other. Long Fei leaned behind Lu Luoshi, his forehead leaning on her shoulder as he continuously directed and blew onto her ears. Her body lightly trembled, and she swallowed something in her throat. His body was getting hotter. Slowly, Lu Luoshi became more and more proficient at it. However, at the same time, her body was getting hotter and hotter. The first time, she felt such a strong connection to the forbidden fruit. Because he could feel Lu Luoshi's body emitting the scent of a virgin, Long Fei also could not calm down a little. What was even more frightening was, his underling raised his head and set up a high tent, which coincidentally reached right into Lu Luoshi's little fart. It was filled with killing intent. Their breathing became rapid. Their gazes met. At this moment, it was like firewood touching fire. Chapter 45. See you at the arena. Chapter 45. See you at the arena. Long Fei was a Jiaosi in his previous life. At most, they would watch island country movies to their heart's content, such as dating, pow 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 pow. They had never actually practiced this before. He didn't quite understand either. But even if he didn't understand, he still wouldn't be able to stop his physiological reaction. The worst part was, Lu Luoshi's blurry eyes looked at him. Her cheeks were red. Her entire body was hot, causing Long Fei to be unable to control himself. The desire in her eyes was too strong. It was also at this time. Roar! The cry of a demonic beast sounded. Break the silence. Lu Luoshi's expression changed, and she quickly escaped from Long Fei's embrace and ran to the side. She tidied up the hair around her ears, and her cheeks were as red as an apple, wishing she could find a hole to hide in. Long Fei was also a bit uncomfortable. He coughed and said, "You have learned quite well. If you continue to cultivate for a while longer, you should be able to refine top-quality talismans." Lu Luoshi replied with a light, and then the two of them fell silent. It was too awkward to be silent. Long Fei wanted to find a topic to talk, but then he said, "The moonlight today is truly not bad." Lu Luoshi lowered his head, lightly nodded, and said, "Amen, not bad." Xiaobai couldn't bear to listen any longer, and said to Long Fei, "Boss, the sky is completely black. Where did you see the moonlight?" "Huh, Poochie." The two of them simultaneously looked up at the pitch-black night sky and laughed at the same time. Long Fei laughed. "Your smile is truly beautiful and is the most beautiful female I have ever seen. You should smile frequently. That's the right thing to do." Lu Luoshi said, "No matter how beautiful my smile is, it's not as beautiful as your fiancée Nangong Yan's. She's the #1 beauty in Fireglass City. She's even more beautiful than I am." "Huh?" Long Fei was slightly shocked and laughed. "Are you jealous?" He had not seen this emperor's fiancée since he was transported to this world. Moreover, in his memories, Nangong Yin had frequently come to find him before he was crippled. However, ever since his dragon blood was drawn out and the pubes shattered, Nangong Yin had not appeared once. Long Fei did not take it to heart. Lu Luoshi said, "Why should I be jealous? I don't even have the qualifications to be jealous. I'm not even one of you." It was obvious that he had overturned his jealousy. Long Fei smiled slightly and quickly drew something. He then wrapped the wind-attributed demon core that the large Power King Kong ape dropped into a piece of paper and said, "What?" Lu Luoshi received it in one hand, looked at the demon core, and asked, "Is this the large Power King Kong ape demon core?" Only 5-level monsters have demonic cores, and these demonic cores are extremely expensive. Long Fei said, "This is a wind-type demon core. Don't you want to refine top-grade talismans? After you absorb this demon core, your comprehension of the wind laws will become a bit stronger. When refining talismans, you can use the wind laws to create top-grade talismans. It's too precious, I can't take it." Lu Luoshi was secretly shocked. Even if it was the Heaven Sex demonic core, it was an extremely valuable existence. Long Fei said, "I'll just give it to you. Since I've already merged with the wind element demon core, there's no use in giving it to me. Just treat it as a fee to keep my secret." Lu Luoshi was extremely grateful in his heart. After putting away the demon core, he looked at the flowery talisman again and saw a little girl's brilliant smile. On top of the smile was a line of small words, "Every day, laugh a little more." As he looked at it, Lu Luoshi began to sob and tear up. She stared at Long Fei and said, "You're the fool. You're the big fool, the big fool." Seeing Lu Luoshi's tears, Long Fei's heart ached. He walked forward and wanted to hug her. Before he could take a few steps forward, he heard shouts coming from afar. "Young lord! Young lord! Senior sister! Senior sister!" Long Fei and Lu Luoshi looked at each other, before Lu Luoshi immediately said, "We need to leave this place first." The two of them quickly left. Half an hour later, Long Fei stood in the other direction and shouted loudly, "I'm here! I'm here!" Long Shan led a dozen or so Long Clan disciples and quickly rushed over. Long Shan rushed up, looked at Long Fei, and asked, "Young master, are you all right?" Right now, he completely treated Long Fei as his young master, and was also someone he was loyal to. From the bottom of his heart, he acknowledged Long Fei and worshipped him. To be able to kill 3 death warriors of the Zhuge family within a few rounds was something he admired from the bottom of his heart. Many of the Long family's disciples also rushed forward. Young master, young master. They weren't as strong as Long Shan, but they were grateful to Long Fei. If not for Long Fei luring the large power king, Kong Ape away, all of them would have died. Long Fei pretended to be weak and said, "I'm fine. I have to thank this big senior from the Heaven Sect for saving me. If not, I would have been ripped into two halves." Long Shan immediately kneeled down and said, "Thank you, female hero, for saving me. The Long family will never forget this favor." Lu Luoshi returned to his usual ice-cold expression and said, "There's no need to be so polite. I was only casually saving him." At this moment, Xiao Tian and Yi Zian also ran over. "Senior sister, are you all right? Bastard, are you hurt? I definitely can't do such a dangerous thing again." Lu Luoshi continued to give Xiao Tian looks, but Xiao Tian did not react and even asked dumbly, "Big senior, what's wrong with your eyes? Could he have been injured by a large power King Kong ape?" "Stupid girl." Lu Luoshi felt powerless in his heart. He cupped his fists and said, "We will be leaving first." She looked at Long Fei and smiled mysteriously. "There's still the third thing." After saying that, she quickly pulled Xiao Tian and Yi Zian away, afraid that Xiao Tian would say that they were here to protect Long Fei. On the way, Xiao Tian asked in a crafty manner, "Big senior sister, you have been alone for an entire night. Could it be that nothing has happened that should have happened?" Yi Zian knowingly asked, "Little junior sister apprentice, what is the thing that should happen?" Xiao Tian giggled. A lone man and woman in the middle of the night, escaping from a calamity. This kind of scene should have the two of them hugging each other, and then Lu Luoshi stared at her. "Stupid girl, teasing big senior is here. You're asking to be beaten." "Aya, second senior sister, save me." "Eldest senior sister, I must have hit the mark on you, right?" "Aya, stop hitting me, I was wrong." The three women teased each other as they left the Fire Wolf Valley. Lu Luoshi looked at Fire Wolf Valley, then placed the painting Long Fei drew under his clothes, sticking it to his chest. In the blink of an eye, he was staring at the rising sun. He took a deep breath and smiled. He then shouted, "Ah, a beautiful day has begun." Xiao Tian and Yi Zian were stunned. Senior sister has changed, become more beautiful and handsome. In another place, the first round of examination had finished. At the exit of Fire Wolf Valley, many of the Long family disciples walked out of the Fire Wolf Valley in succession. Long Ao stared at Long Fei. The corners of his eyes twitched, and he said coldly, "You dog actually didn't die. Just you wait. You're going to have a good fight in the arena." Chapter 46, Grand Elder, are you going to abolish me? Chapter 46, Grand Elder, are you going to abolish me? Yesterday, the entire Three Pillars and the Nangong Imperial family were discussing that the Long family was finished. If they lost this batch of Long clan disciples, the Long clan's foundation would be unstable. It was only a matter of time before they would be destroyed. Thus, this morning, the four great powers had sent people to wait at the city gates. They want to know how many of the Long family's disciples return alive. According to their guesses, there should not be more than 20. However, what they did not expect was that there were more than 50 disciples that had come back from the Firewolf Valley. Did the 5-level monster not cause any big casualties? Half of the Long family's disciples had already been killed by the assassinations of the three powers. There were still more than 50 that had come out, which was something they hadn't expected. Did something happen after they left? Confusion. However, they quickly sent people into the Long family to see the results of the first round of exams. "He's back. They're back. They're back." A disciple of the Long family ran into the Dragon family's martial arena and reported to Long Zhanwu, "We're back. Young Master Long Ao is back." Long Zhanwu's heart relaxed. After all, Long Ao was his only son, so he asked, "How much did you return?" The person replied, "More than 50. Long Zhanwu's expression changed. He was surprised. There's actually more than 50 of them. Seems like the power of the three pillars is also mediocre. Long Zhanye could not bear it any longer. They lost more than 60 disciples. They're all the elite of the Long family. The three great families are truly vicious. They want to destroy our Long family's foundation. Long Zhanwu did not mean it. If I become the next patriarch, then even if I die, many disciples of the Long family will be worth it. His heart was incomparably vicious. Long Zhanwu asked, "Did you see Long Fei?" That person replied, "Yes, he is among them." Long Zhanwu's eyes turned sinister as he stared at Long Zhanye and asked coldly, "Did Killer at Failure Alliance not make a move? Why did you let that brat return alive?" Long Zhanye's face sank and said, "I don't think so. It shouldn't be, right? But Long Fei is still alive. How are you going to explain that? Useless thing. I can't even do such a small thing." Long Zhanwu was extremely furious. The Fire Wolf Valley was the ideal place to kill Long Fei, yet Long Fei actually managed to return alive. Long Zhanye did not dare argue for himself and said, "Big brother, there's still the arena competition, and Long Fei does not necessarily have the qualifications to enter the arena." Long Zhanwu said coldly, "It's best if you say the same thing, otherwise." A cold, killing intent flashed in the corner of his eyes. Long Zhanye's mind trembled. Half an hour later, the Long family's martial arts practice field became lively. Long Ao was the first to rush into the martial arts practice area and shouted loudly, "Father, your son is back. Grand Elder, we're back." These were all Long Zhanwu's men. He had sent more than 30 disciples, and only a dozen returned. These people were all very excited. However, all of the disciples that came back had no expression on their faces. Their hearts were filled with hatred towards the Long family, especially towards Long Zhanwu. He was sure that the 5-level monster had charged into the Fire Wolf Valley, but they were still not allowed to escape. Long Zhanwu could clearly feel their expressions. Suddenly, "The young lord is back," a voice sounded. Next, those Long family disciples who had just entered the martial arts practice grounds were immediately brimming with energy. The moment they saw Long Fei entering the martial arts practice grounds, they shouted at the same time, "Young master!" His voice was deafening. The entire Long family was covered. Many people were stunned. "Young lord? Which young lord?" The most shocked was Long Zhanwu. Watching Long Fei walk in the training grounds and win over so many people, he trembled and trembled from anger. Under his sleeves, he clenched his fists, releasing the rich war chief chi. Long Zhanye reminded him in a low voice, "Big brother, don't be angry. Let him be proud first." Long Ao also said in a low voice, "Father, Long Fei is different now." Long Zhanwu stared at Long Ao and bellowed, "Even if it isn't the same, you still have to die." Long Ao did not dare to speak anymore. Long Fei walked to Long Zhanwu's side and smiled faintly. "Great Elder, I've come back and have disappointed you." Long Zhanwu gave a cold laugh and said, "Long Fei, you're the young master of the Long family. I'm so happy that you're able to come back. Why are you so disappointed?" Long Ao contemptuously said, "Long Fei, it is your luck that is good this time, but what can you do after you return? How many demon beasts have you killed? I'm afraid you don't even have the qualifications to enter the arena, do you? Do you want me to give you a few demon beasts?" The young master of the Long family lost two miserably. "Huh, how many demonic beasts can this trash kill? I've never seen him kill a demon beast. He probably hasn't killed a single demon beast. Long Fei, hurry up and get out of the martial arena. Don't embarrass yourself." Long Shan rushed forward and shouted, ridiculing the Long family's young master. Without waiting for him to finish, Long Ao said disdainfully, "Long Shan, who do you think you are? You even gave the surname Long to the Long family. Since when did the Long family have your turn to speak?" This was Long Shan's sore spot. It was also a sore spot for many of the Long family disciples. There were many disciples of the Long family whose ancestors had been bestowed the surname of the Long family. At this moment, the palm fiercely slapped down, directly slapping Long Ao onto the ground, blood flowing out. Long Fei coldly said, "And who do you think you are? All of the disciples, surnamed Long, are heirs of the Long family. Long Ao, you dare ignore the ancestors' instructions and openly insult the descendants of the Long family who have rendered meritorious service. Without them, the current Long family's ancestor would not have existed. Grand Elder, was my lesson right?" No one expected Long Fei to strike so suddenly. Long Ao's mouth was full of blood. He crawled up and was about to charge forward. "Long Fei, you dead trash dared to hit this daddy will kill you." Not waiting for him to finish. "Huh." After another ruthless slap, Long Fei coldly laughed, threatening the young master and scaring the young master. "Should I hit you? Long Ao, why don't you have a bit of memory?" Long Ao fell to the ground again, with his front teeth broken. Long Ao crawled back up and said while crying, "Father, take revenge for me. Take revenge for me. I want to kill." Long Zhanwu bellowed, "Enough. Isn't that disgraceful enough?" Two slaps to Long Ao's face, but it was in Long Zhanwu's face. At the same time, these two slaps of Long Fei's made the surnamed Long Shan and the other disciples of the Long family feel warm in their hearts. They had always been criticized by others, but now they felt that they were inferior to others in the Long family. But Long Fei gave them hope. In their hearts, Long Fei's status had skyrocketed. Then, Long Zhanwu's eyes turned sinister as he stared coldly at Long Fei and laughed coldly. "Long Fei, since you're the young master of the Long family, then you must have the ability of the young master. If you're not able to get first place in the first round of examination, then you're embarrassing the Long family." Long Fei frowned slightly and laughed coldly. "Great clan elder, are you going to abolish me?" Chapter 47. Who's going to eat shit? Chapter 47. Who's going to eat shit? As soon as his voice fell, the surroundings quieted down. Abolish the young lord? This was no small matter. With things having gotten to this point, Long Zhanwu could no longer continue to hide, and coldly said, "As the great clan elder of the Long family, I have this right. Long Fei, as long as you don't get first place in the assessment, you will no longer be the young master of the Long family." Long Shan and the others immediately stepped forward and said, "Grand Elder, the Patriarch is still here, and Grand Elder is still around. You don't seem to have the power to decide on the annulment of the young lord, right? Grand Elder, you shouldn't be doing this, right? The young master was chosen by the Grand Master in the Long family's ancestral hall. If you want to abolish the young master, you have to wait for him to come out of seclusion." Many people spoke up for Long Fei. Most of these people were disciples with surnames bestowed to them by the Long family. They were grateful to Long Fei in their hearts. Long Zhanya also reminded him in a small voice, "Big brother, this is a little." Long Zhanwu sneered, "Whatever decision I make is not up to you guys to say. If you have the ability to do so, then invite the Grand Elder and Patriarch out. If you can't, then shut up." The voice released the aura of the war chief. The aura of the war chief crushed them, causing them to be unable to say a single word. Long Fei's eyes became sinister and said, "What if I win first place?" Without waiting for Long Zhanwu to speak, Long Ao took the lead and said, "Long Fei, if you can take first place, you can do whatever you want of me. I'll let you see just what kind of sh*t I'll eat." Full of confidence. Forget about everything else. Long Ao was confident that no one would be able to kill more beasts than him. Of course, it was not him who had hunted, but a dozen or so disciples of the war spirit realm who had helped him kill. Seeing his son so confident, Long Zhanwu laughed. "Long Fei, did you hear that? You really want to play it big?" Long Fei said. Long Ao laughed complacently. "What? Are you scared? If you don't dare to bet, then scram to the side and obediently hand over your position as the young master." Long Fei said, "How about the bet is a little bigger, and you two eat sh*t together?" Long Zhanwu's expression immediately changed. Long Ao scolded, "Long Fei, just prepare to hand over the young master's seat and eat shit in front of your entire family." Long Shan pulled Long Fei and said, "Young master, there are more than a dozen disciples helping Long Ao kill demon beasts." Many people saw it. Long Ao could not miss the chance to step on Long Fei. Afraid that Long Fei would go back on his word, he immediately said, "Men, go to the toilet and bring me a bowl of sh** tea." Long Zhanwu also immediately said, "Begin counting." The father and son duo did not give Long Fei any leeway to go back on his words. Long Ao said to his father, "Father, just watch carefully. This time I'm going to kill that bastard Long Fei." Next, the disciples that were participating in the examination quickly stood in 2 rows. One after another, they brought out the demonic beast they had killed. Long Yu, 160 points. Long Tai, 10 points. Dragon Lin, 10 points. Long Shan, 90 points. Next, Long Ao. Long Ao walked out, his face full of smiles, as he stared coldly at Long Fei and said disdainfully, "Long Fei, just prepare to eat sh** tea." While they were talking, Long Ao shouted loudly, "Look carefully at all of this." After saying that, he took out fire wolves from the space ring one by one. Martial Arts Arena quickly piled them up like a mountain, and the statistical elder also quickly recited 108 heads, 109 heads, 150. At this time, Long Ao slightly stopped and switched the space ring with an incomparably pleased look on his face. He stared at Long Fei and said, "Here's the thing that scared you to death." Suddenly, an even more powerful fire wolf pulled out its space ring. Everyone was shocked. The statistician said in a trembling voice, "Secondary monster, secondary monster." More than one. There were a total of 10 secondary monster. Long Zhanwu revealed a smile that he did not have for a long time and thought, "Long Fei, I'll see what you can do this time, huh?" The statistics were out. Long Ao, 2,000 points. Break the Long family's history. 2,000 points? Oh my god, there are so many of them. They can actually break the Long family's history. More than a dozen people helping him kill them. This isn't his result at all. Many people knew this, but not many people dared to say it, because Long Zhanwu's gaze was genuinely cold as he stared at them. Long Ao was extremely arrogant. He walked to Long Fei's side and said, "Do you still want to compete? Get ready to eat shit, haha." Don't mention how excited he was. After being slapped 5 times by Long Fei, he had the heart to kill Long Fei. As long as he ate feces in front of his entire clan, Long Fei would never be able to raise his head up. The more he thought about it, the more excited Long Ao became. "Bring the feces over here." A disciple walked over while holding his breath and said, "Young Master Long Ao, these are all just produced today. The fragrance is especially fragrant." Long Ao covered his nose with one hand and said, "Good, you did very well." Long Shan stood in front of Long Fei and said, "Young master, I'll..." And then, a few more disciples walked up and said, "We'll replace you." Long Ao immediately bellowed, "Scram to the side. The one eating shit is Long Fei. If you guys want to eat, then I'll get someone to make a big barrel for you guys to eat." Long Fei, hurry up. Is there still a need to compete? Long Fei was secretly grateful and said with a smile, "Why are you in such a hurry? If you're in a hurry, then eat this sh** tea first." While they were talking, Long Fei had already walked out. He looked at the statistics elder, looked carefully. As soon as he finished, Long Fei's hands moved like the wind as he crazily took out the monster head from the group of space ring. 36, 89, 107, 139, 189, 207, 350, 590, 780. The final number was set to 780. This was because Long Fei had many monster head that he had yet to cut. Otherwise, he would have been able to double the number. The entire hall was silent. He was speechless. Long Fei walked to Long Ao's side, patted his dumbstruck face, and said, "Still want to compete? Who's eating shit?" Long Ao's expression changed. He could not say a word. At this moment, the statistical elder shouted loudly, 780 level 1 monster, for a total of 7,800 points, first place. Suddenly, Long Ao suddenly roared. I can't accept this, Long Fei. These are all level 1 monster that you have hunted down. All are trash beasts. Do you have any secondary monster? Is there? If you can't even kill the secondary monster, what qualifications do you have to be the Long family's young master? Long Zhanwu followed. You're right, you don't even know if you killed these level 1 monster. If you want to prove yourself, then take out the secondary monster's head. Long Fei frowned. You dare to go back on your word? Long Zhanwu sneered. I think you're cheating, right? Long Fei suppressed the anger in his heart and said, How can I prove that I didn't cheat? Long Zhanwu said complacently, It's very simple. Take out the corpses of secondary monster and hire. If not, your competition results will be ineffective and you will lose the bet. Give up the position of young lord. Long Ao said sinisterly. And you still have to eat this sh*t. I don't have any secondary monster. Long Fei said indifferently. His hand reached into the space ring S. Without waiting for Long Fei to finish speaking, Long Ao laughed excitedly. Then you will lose, Long Fei will eat shit. Similarly, without waiting for Long Ao to finish speaking, Long Fei's arms suddenly exerted more force. His voice became heavy, and he roared out, But I have this beast. Boom! The large power King Kong ape's head was taken out and placed on the ground of martial arts arena like a small mountain. The large power King Kong ape happened to be staring at Long Ao, and Long Ao immediately fell to the ground, retreating continuously while trembling. Shock. Domineering. Not a single sound could be heard from the entire auditorium. It was so quiet that it was terrifying. Chapter 48. I'll just ask if you accept it or not. Chapter 48. I'll just ask if you accept it or not. To crush, that meant to crush to death. Since you don't want face, then step on his face. Everyone in the arena was looking at the head of the large power king, Kong Ape. The 5-level monster was incomparably cruel, even if it was just a head. Shout, laugh. Didn't you say that I didn't kill any demon beasts? Didn't you say that lousy is trash? Didn't you say that I don't have the qualifications to be the young master of the Long family? Scream for lousy again. Long Fei swept his gaze across the entire audience, looking incomparably arrogant and domineering. Crazy. He had to be crazy to the extreme. The aura from Long Fei's body unknowingly crushed the entire audience. Those people who had mocked Long Fei before did not dare to raise their heads to look at him, their hearts filled with fear. Long Fei was really no longer the trash of the past. Long Fei. It should be said that Long Fei, who was even more arrogant than his own genius, had returned. No one in the audience could say a word. Long Fei looked at Long Zhanwu coldly and said, I'm just asking if you're convinced or not. Cluck, cluck. Long Zhanwu clenched both of his fists tightly, causing loud cracking sounds to appear from his joints, and the dense war chief Qi was released from his body, pressuring Xiang Long Fei crazily, as though flames were about to spew out of his eyes. At this moment, he really wanted to tear Long Fei into pieces in an instant. War Chief suppression. Long Fei's body sank as he struggled to resist. Because the level gap was too big when facing the pressure attack, the King Kong shield had no way to defend, and Long Fei could not do anything either. However, he was still extremely arrogant. His voice was like thunder as he shouted, Who's going to lose now? As soon as his voice faded, Long Shan and the others had long been boiling with excitement. They shouted loudly, The Great Elder has lost. Long Fei roared again. Who lost? Long Shan and the others also threw caution to the wind and shouted, Long Zhanwu. His voice was deafening and domineering. This was the grandeur of the Long family's army. Long Fei resisted the pressure and laughed. Great Clan Elder, if you are willing to admit defeat, you have to eat shit. At this moment, Long Ao rolled over and over, trying to get into the crowd to escape. The corner of Long Fei's eyes moved, his body leaped, and he instantly jumped in front of Long Ao. He laughed lightly. Young Master Long Ao, where do you want to go? Long Ao laughed obsequiously. Long Fei, I was just joking. Please don't take it seriously. We are cousins. Now tell me we are cousins? Every time you see me this year, you beat me up. Why didn't you call me a cousin at that time? Why didn't you say it was a cousin when the dung bucket was placed on my face just now? You father and son have done all that you can to make me die. Even the killer of Failure Alliance has invited me to die. Why don't you just call me cousin? Now you're telling Lousy that you're a cousin. Too late. While they were talking, Long Fei grabbed Long Ao's neck, as if he was holding a duck, and said, "Bring the sh*t over here." Long Shan took over the dung pot and said, "I'm here. It was just produced just now. The smell is really fragrant." Ha ha ha. Long Ao continued to struggle and shout for help. "Father, save me. Father, quickly save me. I don't want to eat sh*t." Not waiting for him to finish, Long Fei pushed his head down into the dung bowl. As his mouth was opened, Long Ao's mouth was quickly filled, his stomach rolled, and he vomited. When he vomited, another large mouthful of feces would rush into his mouth. "Drink up." Long Fei shouted loudly, "Don't spill a single drop." "Ah! Woo! Father! Ah! Woo-woo!" Long Ao continued to struggle. His face was extremely pale, and his nose was full of sh*t. Long Zhanwu's eyes were bloodshot as he stared at Long Fei sinisterly. Long Fei laughed coldly. "Great clan elder, you want some too? Long Fei, you're courting death." Long Zhanwu was incomparably furious. The rage in his heart had already been suppressed. His son had eaten shit in front of all the other clan disciples. From today onwards, he would be a cripple. How could he bear it? Long Fei laughed. "Long Zhanwu, it won't take just 1 or 2 days for you to want me dead. Since you want me dead, then come and kill me." "You think I don't dare?" Long Zhanwu bellowed. Long Fei said, "Dare, of course I dare, but if you kill the Long family's young master in front of the entire clan, can you bear the consequences?" It was also at this time. Long Zhanye took a step forward, firmly held on to Long Zhanwu, and said in a low voice, "Big brother, you can't be rash. If you were to make a move now, you would be fooled by Long Fei. Kill the Long family's young master? This was no ordinary crime. If he killed the Long family's young patriarch, even in his dreams, Long Zhanwu wouldn't be able to sit on the seat of the Long family's patriarch. Hoo. Long Zhanwu took a deep breath. With a swing of his sleeves, he shouted, "The first round of the examination is over. Start the arena battle tomorrow. Long Fei, I hope you still have a life to be arrogant tomorrow." Long Zhanwu glanced at his son, who was unconscious and lying on the ground with his stomach bulging and his mouth spitting feces, and shouted, "Carry him away for me." Finished. Long Zhanwu and his men quickly left. "Oh, the young lord is mighty. Young master is domineering. Ha! The young lord is too handsome." The entire martial arts practice grounds was cheering. It was as if they had won a battle against their opponents. This was too exciting. The Long family's imperial guards, led by Long Shan, were cheering. Long Fei's entire body relaxed as cold sweat seeped out his back. The pressure of the war chief was simply too unbearable. It was even more unbearable than facing off against large power king Kong Apes. At the same time, there were also people discussing. He truly doesn't know his place. He offended the great elder in public, and the patriarch and the grand elder are still in seclusion. With him being so high profile, there's only one. Disappeared. The demonic beast assessment is just a child's test. No one knows where the monster head came from. But how can he kill them? I wouldn't believe it, even if I were beaten to death. We will know about the stage tomorrow. I think the great clan elder will not let Long Fei off easily. He's too young, and he doesn't know how to restrain himself. He will definitely die in the arena tomorrow. No matter what the Long family said about Long Fei, there was one thing that he had to admit. Long Fei was no longer a piece of trash from 1 year ago. The fact that Long Fei was the Long family's young master was finally recalled by everyone. No one in the Long family anymore dared to look down on Long Fei, and no one dared to say he was a piece of trash. Then again, Long Fei's personality was, If you respect me by 1 foot, then I respect you by 3. You want to fuck me? Sorry about that. I'll return it 100 times. High profile, arrogant. These were just Long Fei's overbearing personality. He would continue to be arrogant. What did you say? That peak rank 5 beast was killed. Was it killed by Long Fei? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Long Fei doesn't even have that kind of strength. Nangong Lei was extremely shocked. Even if that 5-level monster was a war chief ranker, it was not easy to deal with it. How could he? A broken pubes trash kill it? Reporting to the Duke, I have investigated. It was Long Fei who led the demon beasts into the deep valley. No one knows what happened after that. But Nangong Lei immediately asked, just what? The guard replied, it's just that when the Long family disciples noticed them, there was another person by Long Fei's side, a member of the Heaven Sect. Nangong Lei's eyes darkened. So the large power King Kong ape were killed by the experts of the Heaven Sect, and Long Fei only took advantage of the opportunity to cut off their heads? This subordinate does not know. Nangong Lei looked out of the window with his hands behind his back and muttered, since when was Long Fei related to the disciples of the Heaven Sect? I'll make a trip to the Long family tomorrow. It was not only Prince Nangong's house. The entire Fireglass City was shaking. The Divine Zhuge Manor, the Li martial arts sect, and even the Nangong Imperial Palace were the same. At the same time, they had all made the same decision. They would personally come to the Long family arena tomorrow because they wanted to investigate whether that genius Long Fei had really returned. Chapter 49. Handsome people can't keep a low profile. Chapter 49. Handsome people can't keep a low profile. Long family. Long Zhanwu's residence. Trash, trash. All of them are trash. If you can't even handle a small piece of trash like Long Fei, I really don't know what use will there be for you two to be raised. Long Zhanwu was furious. Long Fei had caused him to lose face in martial arts arena. Who in the Long family would dare speak to him like that and call him by name? Long Fei did not place him in her eyes at all. The thing that made Long Zhanwu the most furious was that many people started to stand by Long Fei's side. This made him feel a sense of danger, an intense sense of danger. All of the direct disciples of Long Zhanwu's sect lowered their heads, not daring to breathe too loudly. Say something. Why are you all mute? Long Zhanwu bellowed. One of the disciples said carefully, Great clan elder, Long Fei is related to the people of the Heaven Sect. Huh? What did you say? Long Zhanwu was shocked. Long Ao, who was still lying on the ground with feces continuously coming out from his mouth, gasped for breath and said, Father, I wanted to tell you about this when I was in martial arts arena. Long Zhanwu's eyes turned sinister, and he shouted, Then why don't you say anything? Long Ao said in a low voice, It's you who didn't let me say it. Trash. You've lost all my face. Long Zhanwu no longer looked at Long Ao, but narrowed his eyes and said, The Sky Sect, huh? Long Fei, you must be trying to get yourself a big backer. His voice was colder, and his killing intent grew stronger. Long Zhanwu thought in his heart, No matter who you climb up to, you must die tomorrow. At this moment, Long Zhanya hurried into the courtyard. Long Zhanwu slightly said, All of you go down first. Remember, you must kill Long Fei in the arena tomorrow. After those disciples left, Long Zhanya immediately stepped forward and said, Big brother, I just received a message from the 3 great families and the Imperial family. They will be personally present at the Long family's arena tomorrow. Long Zhanwu's expression became serious, frowned, and said, Because of Long Fei? Long Zhanya said, The entire city knows about Long Fei killing the 5-level monster. A piece of trash turning into a genius, and with that dragon's roar last time, they are worried. At this time, Long Zhanwu's expression became ugly, and he said in shock, Are you saying that the dragon god blood lineage in Long Fei's body has recovered? If that's the case, thinking about Long Fei's arrogant and rampant appearance today, Long Zhanwu felt that Long Fei must have recovered his dragon god blood lineage. Otherwise, Where did he get the confidence to challenge him? Long Zhanye said, the three pillars and the imperial family also want to confirm this matter. If Long Fei were to recover the dragon god's blood lineage, then our situation would be even worse. The dragon god blood lineage was a dragon god warrior. Apart from the Grand Elder, he was the only one who could command the Long family's army. The Long family army didn't have any military talismans. They only listened to the orders of the Grand Elder, or the dragon god soldiers. Once Long Fei regained his status as a dragon god warrior, his power would be immense. Give the order, the dragon cavalry would rush to the Fire Glass City in the shortest time possible, but he wouldn't be able to stop them at all. Long Zhanye said in a low voice, Big brother, do you want Killer at Failure Alliance to make a move? Deal with Long Fei tonight. No. Long Zhanwu immediately denied it and said, the Long family's cavalry will need at least 5 days to return to the Long family, and there are too many things that can be changed in 5 days. I want Long Fei to die on the arena, and I want everyone in the Long family to think that he is trash again, a trash who cannot get up, and to make the Long family lose hope in him. If he dies in the arena, everyone in the Long family will despise him. This time, I will make it so that he will never be able to turn over his body. Long Zhanwu's voice was sinister, as he whispered something into Long Zhanye's ear. After Long Zhanye finished listening, his eyes shook and he said, I'll go do it right away. After taking a few steps, Long Zhanye turned around and said, Big brother, the killer from Failure Alliance did not come back. Whether he is dead or alive is still unknown. Long Zhanwu didn't think much of it and said, she's just a low-leveled killer. There's no need to care about her life. Long Zhanye replied, got it. Jojo, I'm back. The first thing Long Fei did when he came out of the training grounds was to go home and see Jojo. In these 3 days, the person he was most concerned about was Jojo. Hearing the voice, Jojo immediately ran out, and with a smile on her face, she smiled sweetly and said, Young master, you're back. I prepared dinner for you. She silently watched what was happening in the martial arts arena from a corner. Every time she saw Long Fei being forced to the edge of a cliff, her heart would always throb in pain. She hated herself for not being able to help Long Fei. She was sorry she couldn't do anything. In the past 3 days, she had followed Long Fei's instructions and continuously tried to cultivate, but she could not. He simply could not sense the spirit energy flowing between heaven and earth, and he could not absorb the pubes into the true breath. She felt like the stupidest, most useless person in the world. There was a smile on his face, but he covered it up extremely well, not letting Long Fei notice it in the slightest. Long Fei laughed. Jojo treats me the best. You've starved me to death. I want to eat 10 bowls, haha. Jojo also laughed and said, I'll bring you food. A cozy dinner was over. Long Fei made sure that there were no Long Zhanwu's people around before he said, I'm going out for a while. Stay at home and wait for me to come back. Jojo nodded obediently and said, and half an hour later, Long Fei came to the Fengyuan Merchant Union. Looking at Long Fei, Zhao Er's eyes filled with admiration. Young Master Long, you're simply too cool. Even if 5-level monster were killed by you, you're too powerful. From today onwards, you're my Zhao Er's idol. Long Fei smiled and said, I'll first brew a cup of holy tea for this idol, no? It's a pot. This time, Zhao Er surprisingly cooperated and said, Elder Lu guessed that you were coming and told me to prepare. When Lu Feng heard this, he also walked down from the pavilion. Laughing, he said, Brother Long, you really don't reveal your true colors. You even killed a peak level 5 beast. F*CK. News travels really fast. I wanted to keep a low profile. Sigh. A handsome person will never be able to keep a low profile. Long Fei said shamelessly. While they were talking, the two of them entered the backyard. Lu Feng said, What do you want this time? Long Fei went straight to the point. The true pills have 100 sets of spiritual herbs, and the healing pills have 100 sets of spiritual herbs. I will need them immediately. Lu Feng said, For tomorrow's arena battle? Long Fei said, Amen. In these 3 days, I have used up all the true pill and healing pellets in Fire Wolf Valley, so Long Zhanwu will definitely not let me off during tomorrow's arena battle. I need to prepare well. Lu Feng shouted, Zhao Er, bring the things over. Then, Lu Feng laughed. I have long prepared it for you, but I'd like to ask, can you really refine true pill? Long Fei downed a cup of holy tea and said, yes, but the success rate is not high. Only 50%. Cough, cough, cough. Cough, cough, cough. Lu Feng coughed rapidly, his face flushed red, as though he had been provoked by something. How high do you think the success rate is? Long Fei drank another cup of holy tea and said, 50%. Huh? Old Lu, is your heart feeling uncomfortable again? No, my liver hurts. Lu Feng really wanted to die. He was also an alchemy master, and he had refined pills for dozens of years, but he did not even have a 10% success rate when refining true pill. Even a profound, rank alchemy master could not even reach 50%. To be able to achieve a success rate of 50%, he simply didn't want to live anymore. It was really deadly. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.